for the thousands in attendance and the millions watching around the world. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble!
The police have since increased their presence in the area.
TVJ's Anthony Logg.
A voice note with the sound of explosions ringing out in Grange Hill on Tuesday. Residents were sent running for cover as rival gangs traded bullets. The first attack, a drive-by shooting, occurred shortly after 8 in the morning. 24-year-old O'Dane Drummond of Godfrey Street, Westmoreland, was killed while 3 other persons were shot and injured. This was the springboard for 3 reprisal attacks between yesterday evening and last night. Shortly after 6 in the evening, an unidentified man was shot and killed while 4 others were injured in Top Lincoln. Gunmen from that community then returned to Sterling, where the lives of 2 children were cut short. Reports indicate that the police found the bodies of Sheldon Morgan and his 2-year-old son Sheldon Morgan Jr. with gunshot wounds when they responded to reports of explosions on Godfrey Street just before 9 o'clock. Morgan's motorcar was also set on fire. Gunmen then went to the home of 39-year-old Nadine Rowe and her 10-year-old son Nicoy Bourne. They were also killed. Her brother recalls the harrowing experience.
We heard some explosion about 2 yards away, and the next 5 minutes on my mother's house I heard some knocking, police, and I learned from my mother that my sister came forward and said that I'm not sure if it was a police, so I won't open the door. And right about there they start to kick the door, and some loud explosion followed. Later after I learned that my sister succumbed to some gunshot wound and also her son.
The 7th body was found as police combed an area in Fullersfield where 3 houses were firebombed. An occupant of the yard spoke with our news team.
Fear gunshot all over. All when the fire blazing, gunshot. We are afraid of coming out because we cannot come out in gunshot. You know, we open our back door when we realize we hear gunshot down the bottom. That is when them shooting up the guy down there when he running for his life. We come at the front because we want to help. And what we see happen, none of us couldn't go there because the whole place in flames.
The shootings in the area also impacted schools. The police have since stepped up patrols in the area. Anthony Logg, TVJ News.
The patients from in the morning, we got a call that 5 more persons were coming in, and at the same time when those persons were coming in, 4 bodies were brought in to be pronounced. So it was just an endless stream all day. But the one that really took a toll on everybody was the 2-year-old who got shot and was in the department. The look of devastation on the faces of the staff and patients was really telling to how it had affected them.
Meanwhile, Caribbean police commissioners say gang violence is the biggest threat to the region's security. Tackling organized crime is the focus of the 33rd Annual General Meeting and Conference of the Association of Caribbean Police Commissioners in Montego Bay, St. James. TVJ's Vashon Brown is covering the conference.
Gangs have been wreaking havoc in different communities across the island, but President of the Association of Caribbean Police Commissioners and Bermuda's Police Commissioner Michael De Silva says gang violence is not just a Jamaica problem.
The most significant issue facing law enforcement in our communities is the rise of criminal gangs. Across the Caribbean, gangs, gun violence, and drug trafficking all go together, and they represent a common and significant threat to many of our local communities. The Caribbean has a disproportionate number of homicides that outpaces much of the rest of the world, and we must reverse this trend before local gang violence transcends into violent extremism.
Mr. De Silva says during the conference, the regional commissioners will ratify a 5-year strategic plan. The strategic plan, he says, will guide and drive Caribbean police work to ensure that all resources will be used to reduce violent crime, increase border and cybersecurity, and enhance police legitimacy. Deputy Commissioner of Police in charge of the Jamaica Constabulary Force's Crime and Security Portfolio, Selvin Hay, argues that the lottery scam is a central part of the country's gang problem.
The proliferation of gangs, more so in the western end of the island, is fueled largely by the money that is available through lottery scamming. They purchase high caliber firearms that are capable and, based on our experience, creates mayhem across our cities.
Director of Public Prosecutions, Paula Llewellyn, says the collaboration between investigators and prosecutors is critical in prosecuting gang cases.
Let me emphasize that very often, as with any prosecution, yes, you can have technology, yes, you can have DNA if it's relevant, but ultimately you need to have persons who are prepared, whether because they have had a road to Damascus moment and having been a former collaborator or conspirator with members of the gang, they are now prepared to do the right thing.
The conference is intended to strengthen regional integration and to develop strategies for law enforcement in the Caribbean. Vashon Brown, TVJ News.
More scrutiny and criticisms of the state of public emergency as the Senate debated an extension of the security measure in St. James. But even as opposition senators supported the measure, they questioned its efficiency and the government's crime plan.
Having passed the motion for an extension in the lower house, the government on Wednesday sought the approval of the Senate to proceed. This it got, but not before a rigorous assessment from the opposition. Opposition Senator Damian Crawford says while the government insists the extension is beneficial, the state of emergency is not as efficient as touted. He says it is not helping the country's overall crime problem.
Trelawney, 75% increase. Westmoreland before yesterday, 16.3% increase. St. Mary, 100% increase. Portland, 150% increase. This is 2018 January to April versus 2017 January to April. This is the period before there was a state of emergency.
He says the rest of the country is being cheated.
I am saying to Augustown, demand your pound of flesh from the national government. I'm saying to Westmoreland, demand your pound of flesh from the national government. I'm saying to Clarendon, demand your pound of flesh, because there's a clear correlation between the availability of police in their areas. The police said in Westmoreland yesterday, they were incapable to respond.
The opposition was also peeved that, despite promises, no anti-crime plan has been presented.
If you have this crime plan and you are satisfied with it, say loudly and clearly to the public, we have a plan, we are implementing that plan, we are satisfied with the outcomes from the plan, and so we don't need neither to tweak it nor to develop another plan. Say so.
Government senators pointed to the capture or death of criminals and the thumbs up from business operators and residents in St. James as measures of success. Leader of government business, Kamina Johnson-Smith, also noted that while sensitive crime-fighting information cannot be disclosed, the reinstated Vale Royal talks will include the opposition.
We have also invited the opposition spokesperson on national security to attend meetings of the National Security Council. That way, he can not only hear firsthand from the heads of the security forces, but he can directly give input. Mr. President, we are confident that given the sensitivity of information management in the fight against crime, that this is a good balance of information sharing at this time.
The motion for the extension was passed with 16 approvals and 5 absences. Herman Green, TVJ News.
Our top story today, 7 dead and 10 nursing gunshot wounds after rival gangs go on a rampage in Westmoreland. Still to come, Spanish Town businesses plea for changes to curfew under state of emergency. And in the business day, up again, gas prices reach 4-year high. We'll be right back.
Senator K.D. Knight says he has put on hold the plan to rally the public to take to the streets to demand a crime plan from the government. Mr. Knight announced that the plan in the Senate when the government was first seeking an extension of the state of emergency. During Wednesday's sitting, Government Senator Matthew Samuda again expressed concern about the suggestion.
And I heard Senator Knight say he may rouse up the people if a crime plan is not forthcoming by the end of April. Well, we're in May.
The plan was to have it next week, Tuesday, but I'm reasonable. And I'm going to tell you why I'm going to have to call around. And persons who were given the task of mobilizing in various areas, I'm going to say to them, hold straight.
However, Mr. Knight says that call has not been totally abandoned. He says he is now in support of the opposition leader's new call for a plan to be presented in 3 months.
I don't care who said what, no. If by the time you come back, there is no crime plan, then the plan that I have is going to be put in place.
Back to the Grange Hill killings now. The Westmoreland police say at the heart of the attacks in the area is conflict among rival gangs. During a tour of the area today, the National Security Minister, Dr. Horace Chang, described yesterday's incident in which 17 people were shot in Grange Hill as a crisis. TVJ's Vashon Brown was on the tour and now reports.
A tour by National Security Minister Dr. Horace Chang and the Police Commissioner Major General Anthony Anderson following last night's deadly shooting in Westmoreland.
Now I'm standing in one of the houses that was firebombed in last night's deadly attack here in Westmoreland. Now the residents here say the incident has left them in fear. The National Security Minister is promising increased police presence.
Member Pat has been speaking to me, and we will assess the entire situation, and the government will do whatever is necessary. Security is not something we just speak off the hat on. I'm here as the Minister of National Security, but whatever we do, we'll consult with the members of Parliament and we'll consult my colleagues. But Westmoreland is facing a crisis. We're going to treat it like that. It's a terrible station. We have to take action to correct it, and whatever is necessary will be done.
He says the government will be working to stop the mayhem in different parts of the island. The police commissioner says the police will be conducting a number of operations to deal with the issues in Westmoreland.
It's a bad situation. A number of even kids have been killed, but it's not unique to Westmoreland. It's just really bad today. What has been happening. It happened in St. James. It's been happening across the country, and we know that there are some really bad people around, and that they're willing to put themselves at great risk just to carry out reprisals or killings. There's no shortage of guns that they have, no shortage of ammunition, and there's certainly no shortage of will on their part. It means that our response has to have equal resolve.
The Member of Parliament for Western Westmoreland, Dr. Wickham McNeil, was also in the area today. He says something must be done about the violence in the parish.
This is a problem that has been growing over the last 2 years. We had a 24% increase in murders in 2017, and already for this year we have a 16% increase. So this is a problem that has been building. I've been in discussion with Minister Chang and previously with Minister Montague that what we need down here is increased security personnel. We need increased mobility for the police force. We possibly need soldiers as well.
Vashon Brown, TVJ News.
In the final part of our look at the impact of the state of emergency on night activities and businesses in St. Catherine, we hear what alternatives persons have been resorting to for enjoyment and earning, as well as suggestions on a compromise they say will help the police better address crime in the area. TVJ's Krista Campbell reports.
Since the state of emergency came into effect over a month ago in the St. Catherine North Police Division, business people and those involved in entertainment events say they've been hard hit. But the people say they've been finding alternatives.
The people are trying at the day rave, wherein they start from 12 o'clock and they would go until 9. But Sometimes when you reach 6, 7 o'clock, they are locked off.
At 5 o'clock in the afternoon, Job's Lane in Spanish Town is transformed into a bevy of activities. Vehicles parked on both sides of the roadway and music blaring in the background. This is what a day rave looks like. The same elements as a regular party, except it's not at night time. Traffic backing up in the area, police arrived on the scene, threatening to shut down the party unless vehicles were removed from one side of the roadway. That done, the party resumed. It was a fundraiser for selector Gary Chunks, who now needs support to walk after a recent stroke. By evening, the venue was swarming with patrons, but persons insist the support would have been better if the event was held at night.
Most of the promoters, they go work, and if they come in by 7, 8, I don't know the traffic on the road, hold them up so they can come in by 9, 10.
The days are hot, and people love to dance, so that precludes dancing. Because nobody not going to stand up in the sun to dance. Nobody not going to stand up in the sun to drink.
An idea. It does feel like, say, you go up on the beach. You not even feel to dress up that much. And that's not right. Everybody want to look flawless.
I party anytime, morning, noon, and night. From the party I go and me support the party.
But not all events can be easily switched to daytime.
On Tuesday night time, we talk about party, Snapchat Tuesday. We talk on for 1 year. Very successful and never stop keep it.
With keeping events, you can't just merge or just leave, go to our next year to keep an event. Because it's like you're going somewhere where nobody not really know you.
I can't glad my cousin the other day, I'm growing this up. And I go lock it up and say, no, get her in. And them started 9 night, 5 night evening. Until the police them find it. As the police them find it, I hate that.
They're urging the authorities not to downplay the importance of entertainment events in keeping people away from crime, arguing that the early curfews could worsen the crime situation.
I did an event already and I country me there. And when the event done and me I go home, man stop me and I say, here what happened? You know, say me and a boy have something. And believe me, I go film, And I pass together and the music, I just love the vibe, I love the music. I just party and go back home and it's like I just feel way much better. Him say, boy, I even forgive the person. The person didn't know, say, he might come back to take revenge, whatever them have.
I'm sure if my bartender have a gun, she'll go look for go rob somebody now where she want it. You understand? It's still a bit more criminal. Because people in need.
The state of emergency in St. Catherine should end in July, but business persons are worried about a further extension.
Probably an extent for next 2 or 3 months, but have to close on the business.
I say, I lose and I think more than twice now if I leave the country.
The police say they may reconsider the curfew times, but until that happens, residents are suggesting a compromise.
Let the party them keep. That's how you can catch the people them that you want to catch. Just let the party them keep and you search the party them. When you close off everything, you don't feel like you're going to find a way to look for because everybody go hide.
Krista Campbell, TVJ News.
It's the cutting edge and I refer me there with you next Wednesday when the whole nation seemed. Well, the whole nation is in mourning. Yes. Just weird. The feeling is weird. We was kind of feeling very, not, I wouldn't say all right, but given where we see Aguan in Montego Bay and given where we see what them call it again, the state of emergency kind of quelled down Montego Bay. But that is what you call the secure insecurity. You are secured in an insecurity. You really feel getting complacent. Only to realize that you are living in an illusion and it just wake you up. You just wake up and just realize, but ratted, things stay the same. Or we're going to say the change. It's a psychological thing. It's a psychological thing. Everybody in Jamaica, I know that psychologically, when them hear say crime gone down in a Montego Bay, given that crime, Montego Bay was the main place. Everybody in Jamaica kind of, I kind of go and like say, yes, the thing gone down little, but guess what? Something just come wake up and jolt way to make you realize, say, Montego Bay not Jamaica. Montego Bay just one parish or one city in a parish in a Jamaica. And now we're back where we started. The trauma continue in Jamaica. So, we are tell them, say, look here, man, I mean, know so many attack for me one, you know, but me know say all people in St. Thomas, when them hear about the murder we are going in a Montego Bay, if you do a St. Thomas them there, it make them get traumatic. People are in England get traumatized. But guess what? Them send soldier and police down there, visible. And the visibility of these people cause we forget, complacent and say, well, see there, crime gone down. But Montego Bay is just one place in a parish named St. James, between 12 other parishes. I don't remember even how much parish in Jamaica. I know I stop counting parish. And we come realize now, say, but Montego Bay is part of the whole scheme. Westmoreland is part of the whole thing. St. Elizabeth is part of the whole thing. Kingston and St. Andrew, St. Catherine, St. Anne, Portland, Manchester, Mandeville. I mean Manchester, St. Thomas, St. Andrew, we don't call a whole heap of them, but we forget says it's one whole, it's a country. Jamaica is a country, not a parish. So when we see we are going here, so now, last night, we have said, wow, it wake up with insecurity again. Yeah, man. We have to admit it. We kind of lapse. When we hear say crime going on in a Montego Bay, we kind of lapse. And I say, well, crime going on in a Montego Bay, we need more, what them call it, this security, state of emergency in a St. Andrew. We need state of emergency in a St. Catherine. We need state of emergency in a this, state of emergency in a that. But guess what? Meanwhile, them nuff up Montego Bay and them nuff up Denham Town. You see, we're going to Denham Town. You know, so them burn down some house yesterday, or today, in a Montego Bay. Man get all mad murder down at St. Montego Bay in a Grange Hill today, you know. And today or last night. I mix up all the night, them and the day now. And we don't hear them say nothing about that one day. 9 people get murdered in a Westmoreland. Them keep us say 7 and 9. Man in a house, politician house, all half, how much police. We have to go find out as we go on this, so do you know. Tomorrow, we have to go find out how we go on this, so because it not sound right to me. When I hear the news, it not sound right to me. You know, that them surround a house and the first report is that 5 men in the house. Then we hear say hostage in the house. Then little more we hear say the helicopter come. Then we hear say police lick down the door go in there. One run out of house, drop him gun inside it. So then we hear say the man who did a fire shot dead and a 1 man. 1 man all our police till them can't even have no more gun, no more bullet for fire. Them have to send for helicopter and all them things there. And you have to see a 1 man in the house there. 1 man Rasta. He must clone himself. Them eventually shot the man, kill him. But it don't done. It don't done. He say, because I was going in a Westmoreland now, everybody forget the part there in a Montego Bay, but it don't done. That part I don't done. You know, see, to have a little way that every time one thing get terrible, the next one come more terrible. We are set up some word and now terrible on the block. If me could go on like say that will be done, that over there. So at Sunday that happened wrongly so. Or at Saturday it happened. And now we see something wasara go on here so now. For make we just feel this sense of secure insecurity. We are secured in an insecurity. And the Minister of National Security and the police, highest ranking policeman, police commissioner, gone down to Westmoreland. But the damage is already done. And it's not like say the whole of them people are dead one time. It's like some get shot down at the morning and at the evening some more dead. So where them do that do, them never realize where may I tell you man, the thing stay away. The thing stay away. But we are continue the journey. Continue the journey because it's sad Rasta. 9 people get licked down one time and I must say about how much? More than about a dozen gone hospital and some more good a drop out too. I can't tell we are here. Terrible. Really, really terrible. This is the cutting edge on RFM. This is the Leaving Rome rhythm. Come again, Power, you know. Yeah, man. Come again, Power. Yeah, so we hear about some news that come out of foreign about what them are doing with black people. You know, them say the chances of a child, a black child born in America is much more. Death is more than if a white child. I don't know what is the cause of that, but we can just figure it out. That is really a statistics we have come out of America. Say the possibility of a black child dying is much more than if a white child. So, eat that. Listen to this. Listen to this. Think it's joke business are going on. Listen to this. I want you to listen carefully. This is not no joke business. It's a serious, serious thing. Here we go.
Body parts. They've been selling body parts. That's old. That's not new. That's why black people don't like to go to hospitals. They go to get their toes clipped, their fingernails clipped, and they wake up and their foot's gone.
They've been utilizing the organs of black people for years, the organs and the body parts and the members of African American people, and that goes back to George Washington. There's a long time myth that George Washington had wooden teeth. We've heard that myth growing up in school. The reality is George Washington did not have wooden teeth because common sense will tell you can't put wood in your mouth, it gets wet and wet wood is useless. What George Washington did, he had the teeth of his African slaves yanked out of their mouths and he made dentures out of these teeth. And they're on display. His dentures are on display at museums right now. And that just goes to show the history of African people having our bodies mutilated and our members disfigured and mutilated for the betterment and benefit of the dominant society.
In America, at least 2,500 black people go missing every year. At least. Never to be found again, not killed enough, you just don't find them again. Why doesn't that number ever go down? How can you constantly have the same amount of people? Are you trying to say the same killers go out and murder the same amount of people every year? No. Somebody is taking black people off the street. There's been stories on this. Kidnapped by the government. Kidnapped by organ traffickers.
Drive-by shootings is organ stealing.
I'm worth $50 million and I need a kidney. And kidneys are pretty sensitive. You got to find somebody who really got the kidney that matches yours. You think I'm going to wait till somebody die for me to get one? If I don't get one soon, I'm going to die. So guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to pay somebody to go research people. Okay, let's go look at all the black organ donors. Let's look at all the black people who got organ donor on their driver's license, which is why I'm not a friend of that. I say, if you want to donate your organs, put it in your will. Say that if I die, this can go to my family, my relatives, my friends, or whomever. But when you put it on your license, I believe you make yourself a public target. And so what did they find? We got a guy in Los Angeles. He has the same blood type as you, same kidney type as you likely. He healthy though. He ain't likely to die no time soon. He don't know you, so he ain't gonna give you no organ for free. So guess what we're gonna do? We're gonna arrange a murder that makes it look like he was in a car accident. We're gonna arrange a murder that make it look like he committed suicide. So the next thing you know, you coming out the gas station, boom, you get hit by a Mack truck, you dead, gone. You get taken to the funeral home, your family come to the funeral, they don't know that before your body got laid to rest, a little hole was poked and they pulled your kidney out.
A lot of people don't know, when you get arrested or even when you get convicted, a lot of times law enforcement or police will swab your mouth for DNA. And now they have your DNA record on file, they have your genetic information on file. And you have to understand, with law enforcement, a lot of times they'll sell your information to tabloids and, like, especially celebrities, they sell their information to tabloids and magazines and news outlets all the time. So it's not a stretch to believe that they won't use your DNA or your genetic information for nefarious reasons.
You, my son, cops come by and inform me you just been shot dead. You don't have jurisdiction over that body. That's the coroner. You can't get that body till the coroner release you. So we'll get released, we go down and pick it up, and I see all these cuts and these stitches. I just thought they was doing a routine investigation, following the I didn't know they took your organs. I'm in all this stress, my son is dead. Now you buried now, I can't dig you up because the court got to have permission. Most of those cases is organ stealing.
It's been known for a long time, even back in slavery times, that black organs were considered superior genetically to other folks' organs. For example, whenever there's a transplant, okay, especially when rich folks get heart transplant, liver transplant, kidney transplant, they like white, they like black organs. We had a famous case in Pennsylvania, Governor Casey, who was one of the most racist governors who ever lived back in the late 80s, early 90s. He had a heart transplant. Guess whose heart they gave him? A black person's heart.
Down in Georgia, there was a case of an African-American 17-year-old kid who was found mysteriously dead at school. He died in the gym. They did an autopsy and they buried him. His family, they weren't satisfied with the results because they still wanted to know what happened to their son. They had the body exhumed, found out that his organs were missing and his body was stuffed with newspapers, and people are still trying to find answers. The officials down there in Georgia, they act like they don't know what's going on. There was another case out here in California. A young African-American man was found dead in Death Valley in the desert. All of his organs were missing. His liver, heart, lungs, kidneys, all gone. There's a case in the UK recently. A Somalian girl was brought over there for organ harvesting. They found out that they were going to harvest her organs and they stopped that. There was another case in Asian couples. They went over to Africa. They adopted a black girl. 2 weeks later, she was dead. So these cases of organ harvesting are just going on all over the world, and people are being real quiet about it.
The Rodney King riots. The cops arrested 18,213 black folks. They couldn't account for 10,000 of them.
That's what happened in New Orleans. Remember when you saw those helicopters? They were picking up all them black babies and taking them up in the helicopter. And my husband and I sit there and say, we wouldn't have sent our son with them. I don't care who they was. We all died in the water together. We wouldn't have sent our baby up there. And they never got a bunch of those children back, as we all know.
Organ harvesting in Africa, it's a business. In fact, they've set up so many sophisticated places around the so-called third world where there are nations like France, England, New Zealand, Israel. All these places now are looking in the impoverished areas because mostly in these impoverished areas like Brazil, places in South Africa, right here on this continent, wherever there's poverty, there's crime. And wherever there's crime, you know there's a lot of deaths and there's a lot of shooting.
They are killing black people for their organs. Think about it. Organs are the only commodity that people must have to live that you cannot buy in a store. So if I am sick and I need a heart, I can't buy that. And we know all the problems with the fake hearts. That they can give a pacemaker to a bad heart. But what about when the heart needs to be replaced? You gotta find a match. And it ain't none on the donor list? And I'm worth $50 million? And I could care less about black people anyway? Guess what? Somebody gonna get shot in a drive-by.
Switch over to Haiti. Jean Bellerive, at the time, he was the prime minister at the time when Haiti was hit with that earthquake that killed over 130,000 brothers and sisters down there in that island. They had a report on CNN with Jean Bellerive, and he said specifically that there was organ harvesting and child kidnapping going on.
And we have already reports of a lot of trafficking, even of organ trafficking.
Of organ trafficking?
Yeah. Now, already.
Of the victims of the earthquake?
Yeah. So,
do you know that for sure?
Yeah, I know that for sure, and it was discussed in Montreal during the conference.
Yes, organ harvesting, them call it. You know, there's a lot of movies now that is coming out where you call docudrama movies coming out about the selling of body parts. And I don't know if the ones them know this, but Syrians, the refugees from Syria, is forced into this organ harvesting when them reach outside of Syria and them get into places like Europe, where them body parts is auctioned and them sell it too. Them sell it, forget money if it's here. You know, families do that. And the refugee crisis from Syria is one of the largest refugee crises in this modern time, yeah. And in order to survive, a lot of people not wanting to face the bombs and the this and the that of the Russians, the Americans and the Syrian government, them prefer to sell them body part, internal organs for money so that them can maintain themselves outside of Syria. You see that happening also with a lot of the Africans, them who find themselves on these boats going across into southern Europe, places like Italy and them places there. So it's a thing. We don't hear about that yet in Jamaica. But you know, we love to take part in anything and everything. Anything and everything.
Welcome to Jamaican Roots and Culture. I'm Pat Clark. This week, the evolution of reggae music and its influence on the world. Reggae music was born from many sources, but Bob Marley and the Wailers brought it to the world scene. Jamaica's music has been popular outside of the island since its earliest recorded days, but the best known Jamaican form is undeniably reggae. Following in the footsteps of mento, rocksteady, and ska, reggae also combines elements of rock music to form something truly unique. The lively music scene in Jamaica was fed by the popularity of dance tracks, and in Kingston in particular, music was extremely important. Ska and rocksteady are reggae's main influences, but it also goes back even earlier to draw on mento music as well. The influx of music from the United States also played a role. The growth of reggae spurred the island's record companies towards change. Prior to the explosion of reggae, record companies paid artists per record without royalties. No matter how popular a track became, the individual artist would see none of the profits, and many musicians were still poor in Jamaica. Meanwhile, the music industry outside of Jamaica had converted to a system of artist royalties, making being a musician a very lucrative career. When you think of reggae, the name that springs to most people's minds is Bob Marley. He, along with Bunny Wailer and Peter Tosh, had their group, the Wailers, which originally began its career performing rock-steady style tracks, but Jamaican music was poised to take another step forward. Changing the beat again, reggae took over with its own distinctive rhythm. The Wailers were able to turn some heads, but Marley, seeking steady income, spent several years in the United States before returning to Jamaica and the reggae scene. In 1968, the band got its big break, recording as studio musicians alongside John Nash, who was a popular soul singer in the United States. The political scene at the time in Jamaica was tense. Many reggae musicians, including Wailer member Bunny Wailer, were Rastafarians. Jamaican law forbade the use of marijuana or ganja, which is an integral part of Rastafarian beliefs. In the early 1970s, the Wailers were finally signed to Island Records in Britain, giving them the opportunity to be paid royalties for their earnings. Jamaican-born Briton Chris Blackwell was responsible for the production of their first wildly popular record. A second record came a few years later, though the Wailers amicably broke up in 1974, and the later recordings are credited to a new group of Wailers led by Bob Marley. Bob Marley himself became synonymous with reggae as its popularity grew worldwide. Even African children knew the words to Marley's reggae tunes, while other reggae artists continued producing top-notch works. Still, reggae was less popular in the United States than it was in many other countries. America first took notice of reggae as part of the Black Power movement in the 1960s. In the 1980s, after Marley died of cancer, he became a wildly popular musical figure in the United States. Peter Tosh and Bunny Wailer each produced their own hit records after the group broke up. Meanwhile, other artists, both in Jamaica and around the world, were producing hits. However, it was Marley and the Wailers' talents and ability to bring the genre to Britain and later the rest of the world that made reggae what it is today. Even so, it was not a reggae song by a Jamaican artist that brought the world's attention to the genre. It was Eric Clapton's I Shot the Sheriff that truly broke international ground. Jamaica's popular artists include Peter Tosh and Bunny Wailer as well as Marley. However, Delroy Wilson's songs were island-wide hits. Dennis Brown, Beres Hammond, Gregory Isaacs, and Freddie McGregor are other Jamaican reggae stars. These and plenty other artists brought unique styles to the genre. And now to end Jamaican roots and culture, here's our famous quotation from the Black diaspora. History is a clock that people use to tell their time of day. It's a compass they use to find themselves on the map of human geography. It tells them where they are and what they are. The words of John Henry Clark. For Jamaican Roots and Culture, I'm Pat Clark.
Yes. Cutting edge. You know, I want to play something by a great actor. I mean, we love this actor, Virginia. Elderly actor, Morgan Freeman. You know, Morgan Freeman is elderly now, can't again. But him have some serious words, you know, him do a series, I think about the wormhole, different series about afterlife, before life, you know, him is a prophet, atheist too. Yes. But I'm always involved with certain uplifting, motivational speaking. We want to play this by Morgan Freeman, talking about evil. What is evil? Ready for it? I always do that till I'm going to stop. All right, we can do this. Okay, here we go now.
More was never enough. I'm 86 years old, and sadly, I'm basically sitting on my deathbed. around the world, but I'm all alone now. Not even my children, or long estranged wife or brother stand around my deathbed. I lived my life wrong, and I don't want this to happen to you. If you listen and take evasive action, I can help you change your future. The following few moments may very well change your life, and I wish someone had told me this when I was your age. Money is not evil by itself. It's just paper with perceived value to obtain other things with value in other ways. It's not money. What is evil, you may ask? Evil is the unquenchable, obsessive, and narrow-bended desire for more. Evil is a boundless, soulless, and obsessive compulsive pursuit of some pot of gold at the end of some rainbow which doesn't exist. Evil is having a price tag for your heart and soul in exchange for financial success at any cost. Evil is trying to buy happiness again and again until those fake, short-lived mirages of emotions are gone. Imagine having no only tools they are now broke. All is gone. What you have. The only solution to your madness and happiness was acquiring more. Now I know means to acquire forgiveness. No means to acquire more. So, all thought we were friends while money was flowing in. You might have lost your family, friends, and mostly everyone in the world thinks you're a self-centered, egotistical asshole. Why? Because of your endless pursuit for more, clouded your mind and diverted you from your true purpose in life. Does this hit an emotional chord in you? Did it depress or sadden you? I know you said good, but I will say this only because I wanted to change. I'm not saying you can't be financially successful. I'm saying have a greater purpose in life, well beyond the pursuit of financial success. Your soul is screaming for you to answer your true calling. You can change today if you redefine what success is to you. You can transform your damaged relationships and build new ones. You can forgive yourself and others who hurt you. You can become a leader by mentoring with others who you aspire to be like. You can rebalance your priorities in life. You can heal your marriage and recreate a stronger love than you ever thought possible. You can become the best parent possible at any age, even 86. But don't wait until then. You'll always be able to make more money, but you cannot make more time. One day, just like me, you will die too. What do you want to be remembered for? What can you do for others to make the world a better place? What is your true purpose on this earth? We're all dying, but only small selects you are truly living. You can step out of the shadows into the light. You are meant for greatness. You are meant for more than just what you do for a living. You are an internal being, meant to inspire and help the world. Let's get it right once and for all in this lifetime. Today, you'll step into the world where true love exists. And you'll finally realize that love, in fact, is the war you wanted your whole life. That's love, every day, in every way. And never give up, regardless of how challenging your destiny in life will be. The world really needs you now more than ever. Together with love, compassion, forgiveness, and faith in humanity, we will defeat evil once and for all.
I want you to know tonight that we as a people will get to the promised land.
REFM, thought-provoking, always smoking.
Lyrics like a bazooka. You are listening to Mutabaruka.
Jay and Capleton say life is so precious here. Morgan Freeman, I reiterate it that we need to find some love. You know, meanwhile we are look for better life with money. We need to find some love because, you know, some people that say money is the root of all evil. I don't know where them get that from. Because not like that in the Bible at all. Not like that in the Bible. They miss out one word out of that quote. And it says, the love of money is the root of all evil. Money itself can't do nothing. It's you who are going to decide what it do. It says, the love of money is the root of all evil. It never say money is the root of all evil. So we have to really reiterate that. That sound like say, well, if you just dash your money, me not dash your money. You know the other way there. Me not dash it to believe you be. Bugle. So we will rise again. You know, them ever saying the only way you should look down on a man is to pick him up. We want to yell up Takura and this poem festival. We see the growth, we see the movement, we love it because it emphasizes something where we're personally involved with. We like how it manifests itself Sunday. Yes, a festival vibes, festival feel, pure poetry. You know, we feel good for know say it reached that level now and it's going to get bigger. It's going to get bigger. So Portland people, you know, Fusin thing, they are Portland for 20 odd years and it stopped now. Well, we have something else now. We have something else now. We have led this poem poetry festival. And we see that a lot of people support it from Portland. May I tell you, say, my little bag, me left the place with my bag heavy, full of pure CD. I tell you, it look like people just come there for go give you a CD, you know. I tell you what, as a matter of fact, some people when me there at the gate, I mean stop, them give me CD and them see them walk out. I say, wait, them just come for just get CD. I can't just imagine all Elise bag full of CD, I tell you, man. But we listen to some of them already. And we like where we are here still. You know, we like where we are here. And yeah, we feel good for no say it reached a level now. It reached a level and we just no say it will continue. Cutting Edge, IRFM, we're there with you. A little data where we played about a couple weeks ago and we see her live now at it and may I tell you, the little daughter Wasi. He thinks she don't Wasi. Because if I eat a fire now, she Wasi.
Hey, big man, not a little.
Alright. I hit to fire. May I tell you, the little daughter Wasi. She bring down the place, man. May I tell you. Okay, so make we line it up and play it as well. Cause, yes. Here we go now.
Hey, big man, not a little pickany. Go on with a sweetie, you can't trick me. Take your old car and go on where you are go. Pervert, me no wanna drive from you. Pervert, me no wanna drive from you. God's gift to mankind, little children. Starvation, don't kill them. You are gonna burn in a hell. You're such a little pitney, me I go tell. Kids don't talk to no stranger. Run and scream if you think you're in a danger. From the earth children, electric chair. Those who agree, put your hand in the ear. We say, those who agree, put your hand in the ear. So, hey, big man, load a little pickney. Born with a sweetie, you can't trick me. Take your old car and go on where you go. Pervert, me no wanna drive from you.
Continent with Mutabaruka. We are listening to our meds. You know here. Continent. The end. The end.
So say Tana, I forgot to explain that 6 minutes and 21 seconds in that song. Yeah. Believe you me love the song. Me understand certain parts of which I talk about, but it's the time. The time I boggle me. 6 minutes and 21 seconds. The time I boggle me, man. I want to find out how we should reach that specific time there to the second. Yes, this is Etana. China is part of this new colonialist system where we see spread all over the world. Don't look like colonialism, but it's not the textbook colonialism where people study. Understand? It is a new kind, a neo-colonialistic country that is spreading its wings all over the world, but not like what the Europeans did in America. Because you know, America go in a country to take out things. Europe go in a country to take out things. Well, the Chinese, them go in a country to have things in the country. Yes, like the land, which that is the power. The land is the basis of the power. So when you promise the people, them say, I will build a road, but in building the road, we like a piece of land over there, so you know, give it. We're going to build a parliament building like what them doing at the Congo. And them say, all right, this is that and that is that. So it's a new kind of colonialism. You know, it's not a colonialism of what we call outright enslavement. But it's a colonialism where people would not call colonialism because of what them used to. Them used to the kind of Commonwealth version, the Queen version, French version of colonialism, where the country, the so-called mother country, take not only the people them, but the things them out of the country and carry it go for them country. Where we say China do is use the mineral resources of countries and make things and help for them economy, but mask certain things in the country where them take the things them from to make you feel say you have a balance, swap, bartering. You know, you give me that and I give you that. So through countries like Jamaica now want road, and we want building, and we want all sorts of things. Because you're going to see how much more things the Chinese going to build in Jamaica. It's going to be unbelievable. Because we are beggy and licky. The government, that is. We're going to see what going to happen. And we see in Africa 700 different Chinese companies spread all over Africa. All over Africa. From the west coast to the north, to the east, to the south. China spread. We see South Africa now, biggest trading partner is not America again, but it's China. To the point where now South Africa is part of this thing what them call BRIC. For those of you who don't know what this BRIC is, it is the B is for Brazil, the R is for Russia, the I is for India, the C is for China. And now them say it's BRICS. Because now them put on an S on it and it's now South Africa. So they are forming a different block from what we call the European community, the European market. Them have a strategy now where it is them and the economics that is driving the world. We don't know which part of America we're playing at that now, but it will appear that America is dwindling in its power. I will say Russia is coming up sneakingly, but then they done form alliance with China already. The Russians done form alliance with China because them is part of the BRIC. Them is the main players in this group of countries that them call BRIC. I mean, we did have something named CARICOM, but it carry go. CARICOM was supposed to help to galvanize Caribbean countries economically, socially, culturally, and politically. But we drop the baton somewhere. We drop it. Because the leaders of the Caribbean is still hanging on Queen Elizabeth Fractail. And she no business with her again. But we still are going like such a business. She don't business with her again. And we still make sure on the whole of the land them in here. So I have a house where the whole of them going on and cuss one another in our house. She should have arrest you know, from make our house become such a brawling kind of house. But the Chinese in Africa is a very strange, I don't know if you call it love affair. I don't know if you call it love affair because in one way when you look on it, you see a whole heap of things are happening in Africa will never did happen when America, and even though America did it, but the thing, the difference between America and China is that America is militarizing the whole of Africa. Chinese is sneakingly coming in with their military too. But them don't expose it to the point where you can say, but them are do the same thing like America. Because where America never help is infrastructure. America never did do no infrastructure work in Africa. Where the Chinese them do infrastructure work everywhere them go. So them kind of look more palatable than American. Right, the American them bringing them army and build up army base and all them something they say them are really protect. And it's not them are protect. It's not the African them are protect. Them are protect where them still say is natural resources that them want to exploit. Them want to exploit it. The French, the British, and the Americans, in a whole heap of way, the Italians want to exploit certain things in Africa. The Chinese now is exploiting it, but them make you have we can call it again, a secure kind of insecurity, where you feel like something are going on for you. But meanwhile, your economy is turned over diplomatically to the Chinese because your goods that you used to make in your country become almost so expensive because you don't have the machinery and the amount of people to underpay them to make your goods. The Chinese have what it takes to make goods. If you didn't make something and bring it to the market for $10, them can make something and bring it to the market for $5. So what you have now is a disintegration of African products, African manufacturing, and here creeping the Chinese things. So even the African print them in a Ghana is a weird thing. The only real African print me see in a Ghana in the market right now is the batik. All of the other one them is made in China. There was a time when you could have seen it made in Holland. I would say, no, we're not wear that, you know. When I wear no print, African print or mark made in Holland. The other day we go back there and we see it marked made in China. The only real African print when we see there is the batik African print. Even the Angelina. It's amazing. It's amazing. So, because them can manufacture the goods them much, much cheaper. Them have a much 1.something billion people at population. And all them do things is a communist country where a lot of them, the system is, a lot of the manufacturing them is belong to the state. So the state can just pick them out of school and when them reach a certain age, educate them and then put them in a manufacturing company and just make things just so. So what we find now is a influx of Chinese goods into Africa. And we are talking about Anya so too. Because it's not just Africa. We are talking about in Jamaica, so in the Caribbean, where the influx of Chinese goods that sometimes is not marketable if you really examine it properly. You will realize that there's so much defect on them. And they are not long lasting. But who cares? Because it's cheap. You can go buy one and more and buy one more. That is where the economy of China grow. When them sell you the thing cheap, it don't make good, it mash up. But too cheap, you go buy another one. And another one and another one. So the economy of these countries like the Caribbean now and Africa, maybe not now. Maybe we won't see the effect now. Just like we never did realize how much fast food did affect with 10 years ago, 20 years ago. And we did tell you now. We say you're not going to see the effect of fast food. 15 years ago we said. Because I remember I go to Atlanta, and I said, but wait. When me used to go to Atlanta, me used to see some nice looking black woman I walk on the road. Couple years I go back there, I see some woman where I say, but wait, obesity and diabetes stretch gone far. And when we realize it, it's the fast food cause it. Now we have this poor problem in Jamaica. It's a serious problem in Jamaica. But when I realize it, that the fast food is a big, big problem in Jamaica. These American franchise company, where them bring them culture on and so, well, it's the same thing now. Because it's so cheap. We go to it quick. And we just say, yes, I saw food, it's easier, cheaper, and it keep the people them from start balling. But down the line, we see say, the effect of these food upon the people them. Well, the same thing will happen with the Chinese goods them. The Chinese goods will wipe out the local manufacturer. Because they talk about free trade. And I kind of agree with Trump when he say, "I'm not free trade, I'm not fair trade." But you can't have fair trade when you're a little island and a little country where you suffer with so much people and 1/3 of the population are squatter and them can't afford this and can't afford that. But you see that the Chinese goods will eventually overrun the local manufacturers. Them could have chat a little more about this and that and oh the what them call it, companies is making more money because this and that. There's no manufacturing per se going on in Jamaica more than so. More than the things they will buy is already made. So why is it have a little tailor man and a little shoemaker man around the road? The man there's null and void. Because the made in China things them can reach down here so for half the price we are tailor would make a pants for. Or we are shoemaker would make a shoes for in Jamaica. Half the price is like our shoes them now and sandals and shoes now like exotic things. Now when you buy one it come like a it come like a designer clothes you have on. Yes. You buy all the sandals now from all the brethren we make sandals. Now it come like it's a designer sandals because you hardly can find that. But then now you have man just, and they talk about how we are make things and you hear them find some brethren with about $1 billion worth of duplicate clothes, so duplicate things. With the shoes them, what them call the shoes them and Clarks and all them something there. No, all me know, me would lock up them man there. Me would lock up them man there. Me would make them work it out. Because if them can't make shoes, Clarks, booty, where you can hardly identify say is not a real Clarks. Them man enough for their jail. Them man if you make boots and make out them own boots and make them work it off. Me won't put them man in their jail. Dump the boots for them make and say, look at now. You see the same factory on there? We're going to design, get some man who design shoes in a Jamaica and design our shoes and make them man, they just make shoes. You know, see it? We should lock up them kind of man there. Because the Chinese is the biggest scammer anytime it come on to duplicate people goods. When them go to China, go make it and bring it back to you, your face are the real thing you get. You want to go to New York, go to that. You're frightened for know when you turn over the thing you see made in China. You say, wait, what this? You believe it was a real thing. Them do that with movies. Them do that with CD. Them have the biggest scamming when it come on to duplicate of CDs and movies in China. It's a big, big thing I go on this on. And we now take the goods them. Because we are talking about free trade. Not fair trade, we are talking about free trade. Because people must now decide this and decide that. And see, they know we're bringing all of these media critic kind of, what them call them? Manufacturing things, where we think says designer things. And, you know, I mean, really. China is a country that is going to colonize a whole heap of other countries. And it's not going to create no war. They're not going to do it in war. They're not going to go deliberately go out there and shoot down people to control them place. They will use economy. Them going to use not war. Because we read the book The Art of War and this Chinaman write that. Sun Tzu write that. The Art of War. Winning war without fire and shot is one of them prefaces. The Chinese going to control places that you would never believe them could have control. So the Chinese go into America and every part of, nearly every town, every city you go, you see a Chinatown. The thing with the Chinatown in America is that the Chinese isolate themselves so they're not involved in the political order of America. And them follow the laws of America. So, but them have them Chinatown. There was a Chinatown in Jamaica, but that was not when China was searching for world domination. The Chinese used to be a Barry Street, down Princess Street, come right up to West Queen Street, so go right down to Barry Street, come across to Parade, so and go back across to Princess Street near the West Street, so Chinatown in there, so a pure Chinese people used to tell that, so. But it was not the days of trying to dominate, but just being a part of a place where them come as indentured laborers and them have to make way. In America, you see Chinatown. In Canada, run a Young Street and all them places, you see Chinatown. But the Chinese, it's just Chinese, that's all. Them can't cross them borders and them boundaries. Because that is just there to face them as Chinese people in a country that is not theirs. Now we see there's a China now that is saying, look here now, we're not going to be in countries. We're going to be a part of the fabric of the country. We're not going to just be in Jamaica. That was the days when we come there as grocery people and laundry. Where we did our open laundry and grocery shopping and get to them. We're done with them days now. We're going to spread with wings. And the wings we're going to spread now is to link the government. Because that's how it reach now. First time China never in business with Jamaican government. Them don't they think them make them pick up power and chong thing, and no business. They must start do them little thing, make them money, open grocery shop, make them picnic come run the grocery shop, them go open supermarket, make them picnic come open run the supermarket, then the other picnic come run the grocery shop, and then them go open mall, and appear black people stand up at the mall like them are idiot. And the Chinese now recognize the importance of manipulating other countries outside of them borders, outside of them here, not just Hong Kong and Taiwan and them place there, and Tibet. Because them separate and try to control, and them try to put back Tibet in China, and the Tibetan people them have said, no, we don't know that, you know. A whole heap of time them try to do that. Colonize Tibet. And the Tibet people them say them want to be of them own. So now we say that them not only now having little places that is Chinatown, where you can go now and say this is Chinatown. Like when you go Canal Street in New York, you say you want to go down to Chinatown, you know, from the top of Canal Street, go right down to 7th Avenue, that is Chinatown, and it cut across the other way and come across the other way, and it just have a little, it's like them almost put an invisible wall around certain area before you reach over the bridge, go right down back to where the street long that's name again, at 7th Avenue, that anyway, it go down there so, and it's just Chinatown that. When you go to Canada, are the same thing. You go to San Francisco, are the same thing. They have a little area where it's Chinatown, but them don't involve. Them don't involve with the politics. And them go and come here so now, and guess what? Them now go involved with the politics. But guess what? Them going to be shapers of the politics. That is really what's going to happen. Them going to shape the politics of Jamaica because it's the man who deal with the money of the power. You can see that in South Africa. Black people have political power, but them don't have economical power. And that is really what, because them don't have the land still. The majority of land is owned by white people. And when them do fight for apartheid, is that them did a fight for the land until Nelson Mandela come and just make the thing get topsy-turvy. Because land is always the power. And the economical wealth of any nation come from the land unless you go start import everything. So the Chinese come now. And we now go see him, and we now go see them as threat to our political our social structure. But we're going to wait and see. Mark my word. Mark my word, when you start to see our little black young girls in the ghetto walking around with a little China baby. Hey, what a brebre. And my mother would have said, what a brebre. Listen to this. Let's see if you have time to play it before 12 o'clock. Yes, we're going to play it. Listen to this.
China plans to give all of its 1.4 billion citizens a personal score based on how they behave. So some people with low scores are already being punished if they want to travel. Nearly 11 million Chinese people can no longer fly, and 4 million are barred from trains. Next week, the program will start expanding nationwide. Ben Tracy is in China with what's behind the government scoring system. Ben, this sounds like scary stuff. Good morning.
Good morning. The government here says it is trying to purify society by rewarding those who are trustworthy and punishing those who are not. So like the credit score that most Americans get for how they handle their finances, Chinese citizens are now getting social credit scores based on everything from whether they pay their taxes on time to how they cross the street. When Leo Hu recently tried to book a flight, he was told he was banned from flying because he's on the list of untrustworthy people. Leo is a journalist who was ordered by a court to apologize for a series of tweets he wrote and was then told his apology was insincere. I can't buy property. My child can't go to private school, he says. You feel you're being controlled by the list all the time. And the list is now getting longer, as every Chinese citizen is being assigned a social credit score, a fluctuating rating based on a range of behaviors. It's believed that community service and buying Chinese-made products can raise your score. Fraud, tax evasion, and smoking in non-smoking areas can drop it. If a score gets too low, a person can be banned from buying plane and train tickets, real estate, cars, and even high-speed internet.
Them not enough.
Yeah, the time is 3 minutes to 11 o'clock.
Them put it on up and across the road. Wanna take my life at all costs. I know everything good for eat, good for talk. Can't trust no shadow when the lights are dark. Me living
6 minutes 21 seconds. You know, it's on in the studio, yeah. Not the second time, the first time when them say she did not support Donald Trump. Yes, I don't know if it's what them call it, entertainment buzz. I don't know if it's entertainment buzz that should make her fight out when the people them didn't hear say she support Trump. In that moment of time, maybe, I don't know, I must ask Kachima if it's 6 minutes and 21 seconds she did on the program. And I tried to rectify and justify and rectify the Trump situation. But she kind of did ease back still. I don't know what she eased back for, but I guess the fire did underneath her so much that she couldn't take it so much, so she did kind of ease back. But really and truly, if you don't know about that situation, I bet I just left it alone still. But I have a feeling, say, Trump have to do with something like the Trump thing have something to do with. Anyway, if anybody know it out there, tell her say Muta is very perplexed about it's 6 minutes and 21 seconds, and that I am kind of feeling said have something to do with our interview about Trump, because I think that was really something where liquor really touch her, you know, how people did that go on, especially in the media. Just like the other day when them say she'll get $5,000. I mean, why would people hear an artist go up on tour and government who never usually do nothing for people, especially artists? Government don't do nothing for artists, and them now them construct something where artists can get some tour support to put $5,000 and make them go and go to them show. And people actually have the audacity if you come out and say where them give a ton of $5,000 for. You think that $5,000 anything for go up on tour, for go book hotel and rent bus and pay musician and per diem and all them something there? And not even figuring out what might happen where you don't expect. $5,000, you do all a month tour. You think hey, anyway, he who feels it knows it though, but maybe it's all the tour thing. I don't know if I think she have to talk about 6 minutes and 21 seconds about maybe it's all an interview where she do about the money, the tour money. I don't know. Somebody can call me and tell me, say, maybe the tour money may be Trump inspire a tune, yeah. At least Trump inspire a good tune. Yeah, man. Or maybe the $5,000 inspire a good tune. I don't know. But as some me I say, that's the only reason why I could have said she marked 6 minutes and 21 seconds.
While you're 2 years, would I fly too? Never dig one whole dig two. Today is for me and tomorrow's for you. It's a pass through.
Yeah, the time is 12 o'clock.
Muta.
Yeah, blessed.
Yeah, I just keep you in that prison that they impersonate the police. They say, I'm going to your link and call you.
The what?
Yeah, man, impersonate the police and come to prison.
Are you that?
Yeah, man.
Hold on. Yeah.
Muta.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah, yeah, man. Muta. Hello. Hello. Yes, esto. Muta. Yeah, yeah, man. Hello.
Yeah, what's that?
Come in, I get. Anytime I talk to you, then I hear you.
All right, may I hear you now?
Yeah, you know, all right, yes. Come in now. Well done. Good night. Good night. Good night.
There, man.
But you know, so the same thing when you come up with that, the same thing. You don't think about that time, eh?
What that?
that 6 minutes and 21 seconds.
Oh yeah.
Something like that. Me that one.
If I the Trump thing or if I the
well, no, really. I mean, say. Which program she did depend on who did that do it? Which program she depend on run for that time? I mean, I wonder how long the record is, by the way.
No, the record I don't know, 6
less
minutes.
than 6.
But at some interview, man,
Yeah,
I think of the Trump thing still. I think of the Trump thing because the Trump thing it looked like it did more affect her more than you know. Sometimes when a person write a song. Them kind of way there, it's something will deeply affect them.
Yeah, man.
And I think the Trump thing did more affect her than the $5,000 something.
Yeah,
so the possibility, I think. And furthermore, you know, the Trump thing, you know why the Trump thing? Because when she go do the tour, it's the album she go promote.
Okay.
So the song must have made before the $5,000 thing come up. You understand?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, so I think of the Trump thing. The Trump thing did grab her. Why she write that song there?
Yeah, I learned from your data.
It's not the $5,000.
Yeah, I learned from your data. Syllogism.
No, my daughter, no. I tell you, say, she will do it now, there. Mathematically work out the thing. In her brain, I know so well. Yeah, because I just figure it out. Since you called me at that time, I figure it out, you know, so it couldn't
Logics,
be...
man, logics.
Yeah, it couldn't be the $5,000. It couldn't be the $5,000 because the song, the upon her album, she had tour it. And the reason why she got tour is because she had promote the album, and that song, they must have on the album. So it's most the Trump thing.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, it's a logical deduction.
Chinese thing, you know. And then I fall out, you know. All them cheap plastic there. Where you dash with, then dash with, to buy the next cheap plastic.
Yeah.
Weight end up.
No, you never water, man.
I know full landfill or whatever, you know.
And in our belly too.
And I hope them take a page out of China, but because China start to clean up now for them plastic over there now.
Not only that, them have got solar. You see the big solar place where them build Rasta. It come like a whole island. May I tell you, them build a solar place that it's unbelievable.
Good like that.
Yes, so we don't know if they're going to bring that come to Jamaica. They need to bring that come to Jamaica.
In the 90s, you know.
Eh?
In the 90s, I did read that thing where, you remember when Air Jordan did a lick? And the money about $200 and something a piece, $240 or something like that, US. And the New Balance shoes, them that sell for $60 or something like that. And you know, say them two of them making a China, you know. And the man go to the place, and him say the place, when they look upon it, it's like a prison camp. Because you have these people come walk a couple 100 miles, you know, just to reach to get job enough. And then come in the town, man, left the country area to come get job. And then come job, them for them have to take anything then get. And then can't walk, go back home.
Yeah.
And then put them in there, them have them live there, and then work. Even when the people are going to eat food, you see.
Yeah.
them come and them march up the step and go, and the next one them inside have to finish it and get must 10 minutes to eat or whatever.
Them go, recycle.
And them I go through the next door and them when I come in.
Yeah.
And the people them can't live off my compound. And the man then tell them say the wire fence have to keep people out who are coming. But when they look on the fence, it's shaped just like a prison to keep people in.
Yeah.
And I got 25 cents it costs to make one of them shoes there.
Yeah, man.
Right? And the two shoes are good up on the same, the two shoes make them go right down. And the difference between the New Balance and the Air Jordan was the label where them put on when they reach at the end of the line.
You'll never know that when it reach on you, so.
And one sell for 240, one sell for 60. Yeah, you know?
No, but me see them have some factory and they say where them use like students where them go specially for go at a factory. Them go to school specially for go at a factory there. So them not learn nothing else more than the electronic part. Certain electronic parts, them have put certain things together. Yeah. Like you have one factory where just do that part, that electronics. You have a next part where do just a little part there. And then them have another place where they not put everything together now. And it become like a television or some dryer, cleaner or something. And it's the student, them were in one of the factory, them go to school to learn just for come out now for go work in another factory there. Them not teach them nothing else more than this is where you learn and that will help you now for go in another factory there. So as you leave school, you go in another factory there and you work to put together them electronic parts or electronic equipment and them something there. And them hardly making the money. But them healthy, them have place to live and them just live. And when it reach Anya, so trust me, not a you can't make
people
that.
People have to realize, you know.
You can't make that again for come sell Anya, so as if you set up a manufacturing company. Because first of all, Jamaican people go in our store and them look and see something for $1.99 and see something for $2.99 and it look the same way. Definitely them are go for the $1.99. If them go in a market and say foreign onion and local onion, and the local onion sell much dearer because of the quantity, we don't have the amount to sell it cheaper, them are go buy the foreign one. So it's the same way with the economy now, when the Chinese them start flood the market. Everywhere them go, them flood market. Your things now, like the African print them now, just no land void. Nobody know why your African print them again.
But Chinese nothing 5 and 10 years down the road, you know, a 50 year, 100 years.
100 years, yes.
Okay.
So we could all look at it that way, they don't know, say 100 years from now, them own maybe all Kingston.
Everything, I mean, I don't know how people are going to make a next country bill from the embassy or from the government building. I mean, I don't know what them put in if you listen to everything.
Well, them do it at the Congo. Them do one at the Congo, them build a parliament building at the Congo there. If you ever see it, I tell you. And the government were poor and see all that. No most one like that, man. Mm-hmm. Especially our little government people, them as well.
Go move that. You know what, no. Last week I said something, I don't want me to jump around, but I don't like talk too long and make other people can't jump, because I know how that credit thing they go. But you know what, last week I said, you're going to investigate about the hospital, down at Mobile. Hello?
Oh, yeah.
So, when you do your investigation, you know, remember, you look for who Billy. I think Canada went Billy, no, so.
Cornwall.
Yeah, I think Canada, you know, they don't give it a loan. But you know, I feel them expertise and people engineer and all them things. Yeah. Canada produce, besides Russia and them, Canada produce the most asbestos, you know, everything. When they build back in them days, asbestos in it. Even, you have to look on the aspect of it, you see? Because even in I think that people who watch late night cable and they always see the thing, they lie, them advertise about this mesothelioma. You get from anybody will work with asbestos.
And lie them say if you want, you deserve to get some money.
Yes.
If you have been affected.
Because one dangerous thing, you know, everything, even when you do that investigation, you have to check all So when then you NWC, the water people them. For whole heap of the pipe them, we don't know which part, whole heap of the pipe them we put in down, you know. Asbestos, cement make them, you know.
Yeah, and them have no new pipe there.
And the danger is that when them are broke up. And like me here, I want to say...
Crystallize, when them crystallize.
Yeah. But I man say, like when them, you know, so in Jamaica, water get turn off and turn on. For a week.
Like my yard.
And the pressure, the change in the pressure, then say, you know, because if you deteriorate too. And the fiber, them so small that in time get in your, because when time you get in your lungs or to get in your intestines also, you know, that's why cancer develop.
But isn't it ironical that cross the road from the hospital, the government is there trying to save life, get rid of gunman, and make the community better. And cross the road from that, the government is causing people to have all sort of ailment, chronic disease and sickness. You know, I can't bother that, man. Just cross the road, you know. Come Mount Salem, Cornwall, there Mount Salem. Cross the road, I see Mount Salem, and over the next part of the road, them a fix up, so them a do soca thing, and cross the side of the road, them a kill all people. Terrible thing.
But you know, them have to check about the asbestos and radon and all them.
Yeah, you remember St. Hughes, some girls that are dead and have cancer, and them come find out, say, at the asbestos, when them used to go to school, them find out, say, the whole of the girls, them, when they are dead.
Okay.
Did go at St. Hughes the same year. You remember that case there? And when them go to them realize that the asbestos. Yeah, man.
And then check out and find the asbestos.
Yeah, because all of the girls them were left from that year there. Yeah. Most of them, when them check them they'll have cancer. And them are trying to figure out what is it that is causing these specific girls to get cancer. And them trace it go back to the school. So the asbestos did that kill them off.
Yeah, and a whole heap of building in Jamaica. You know,
whole heap of building
people don't know say in the ceiling, in the tile them.
Yes, whole heap of building in the ceiling, especially the ceiling.
All the big building them are use the air condition and things, the asbestos they don't use to keep it cool and to keep the heat, you know.
Yeah.
Heat control and them something there.
No, I don't think them use asbestos in the air condition them now though.
The units. No, them supposed to stop because they have sense and we follow look for America start take out the whole of the asbestos out for them building from because my brother that work at me afraid but one of my brother over there. He used to work with one company where grown and all the school, them public schools, public government building them are tear down the asbestos so tight.
Yeah.
And they understand how Jamaica them supposed to do them something like that.
Me remember some used to see it in a building, you know, ceiling, you know, in the ceiling them.
Yeah, man.
Them used to have them in the ceiling. And we never know say it was dangerous.
You know? The heating thing.
Anyway, give thanks, brethren.
Well, listen.
Yeah, all right. Yes, here, Cutting Edge.
Greetings, Muta. This is Swan calling from Massachusetts.
Calling from?
Massachusetts. It's Swan.
Oh, Swan, what are you doing?
I'm excellent, thank you. I'm calling because I was interested in the conversation on China, and it's something I've been thinking about a lot, both in terms of Jamaica and neo-colonialism in Africa.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot of hype right now around China coming in to clean up, coming in to help with infrastructure. But the Chinese are massive polluters, just like the United States. So even when they're coming in with solar farms, that's creating potential pollution as well. To create the solar panels, to dispose of them. Often here they're creating solar farms where they're cutting down forests, in the United States too.
Okay.
So with the Chinese neo-colonialism, we're seeing economic exploitation, environmental exploitation, cultural exploitation, and all of these lead to devastation on a global scale.
Yeah.
So in Ghana right now, starting with the environment, destroying the water supplies through illegal mining, and they come in and they ignore the environmental protections that do exist in Ghana. So last year we saw 5 miners arrested in Ghana for illegal gold mining in a river. They were destroying the river, and this is a major water supply for a lot of the country.
Yeah.
And the government comes in and they arrest these 5 miners, right? And so people feel like something's being done. But they're not looking at this, these 5 will go to prison. while the government gets away with continuing to exploit. And as they're doing that, they leave. Those 5 miners are in prison. They leave. That company leaves. And the people of Ghana are left to pay for the cleanup because the government has deals with China. They don't want to destroy their relationships with the foreign companies.
You know,
so then what we're seeing now is they're leaving behind mixed-race children. And this is creating such a problem that it's actually now the government has to set up funds to support them because the Chinese miners, just like the Japanese miners in the 70s coming into Congo, they're coming single men. They're leaving their families at home in China, coming in, having children, leaving the country, and leaving these mixed-race children. And these children are rejected by the Chinese because they're African, and the Chinese look down on the Africans. They're rejected by their African families because these mothers have had their children with the Chinese miners, so it brings shame on the families. So we have cultural devastation, we have economic devastation, we have environmental exploitation for short-term gain. So in Jamaica, it's the same. They'll come in and there's this short-term gain. You get a highway or you get some infrastructure and people start feeling like something good is going on. Not realizing that when they sell all of their infrastructure, when China owns the road.
I call it a secure insecurity. You know, it's secure insecurity.
Exactly, yes.
Yeah. But you know, what, Ghana, since you mentioned Ghana, you know, it's a strange thing happening in Ghana where America is now militarized Ghana, has militarized Ghana, and the Chinese is there also, and it's like there's a war going on in Ghana right now between America and China for the wealth and for the way you call it, the deconstruction of Ghana.
Right.
I remember that was the first country Obama went, you know, in Africa when he became president. And since that, they have been developing military bases in Ghana.
Right.
And then we see the Chinese take a hold in Ghana too. So I don't know, because when we go to Ghana, it's not the same Ghana what we used to say, you know. And I use the market to judge countries. Anytime I go in our countries, the market I use to judge the country. Whether I can move up so or down so, you know.
Well, you know, you got the most mineral-rich continent on the planet. Been exploited for so long, and it keeps taking these different forms as we find, you know, rare earth minerals that China and the United States are in competition right now. And China's winning right now because the United States economy is having so much trouble.
Of course.
But we are putting more troops than ever into North Africa right now while no one's really paying attention. We have all these murky wars going on that are not getting the kind of attention they are. That would be another show, another conversation, because what's happening right now with the militarization, a lot of it people don't know. And so there's not really discussion. None of it's hitting the mainstream news.
Yeah. Well,
but meanwhile, we got China moving in, and you were talking about how they do it a little different because they will also move in and create populations. So it's not just like extracting the resources, like you were saying. They'll also come in.
Change the face of the country. Them change the face of the country, and that is really what is going to happen. People hear me say this thing and feel says mischievous. I feel say, boy, as what Muta say, little more you are going to see some little babies in the ghetto. Chinese, half Chinese baby in the ghetto with some black woman.
Well, when that happened when the Japan miners were in the Congo in the 1970s, the babies were dying. So these mixed-race babies were dying, and it was found out that actually Japanese doctors of the miners were poisoning babies because they didn't want the mixed-race babies there because, again, it brought shame on the Japanese workers. And the African women there, when the babies survive, the African women are going through hell because they're left with, you know, they're left in isolation, they're left with no economic support and culturally ostracized. But what's interesting about it, too, is how easy it is then to turn, it's racism. So long after white supremacy, if white supremacy ever dies out on the planet, we'll have Han supremacy because it's the same mind. It's a small group of people for economic gain that exploit the masses and turn them against each other.
Yeah, yeah.
So in the Chinatowns you were talking about all over the U.S., in the early Chinatowns in California, they were burned to the ground.
Yeah.
So the Chinese were brought in for cheap labor, but they're not respected. They're not respected by their own government. They're not respected by our government. And unfortunately, it's really easy then to pit people against each other. So if you do see mixed-race children, they're going to be hated.
Yeah.
And it's very easy to then hate individual Chinese people. But we have to get to a space where we can realize that we have to come together across the differences. And we're going to need poor people's armies. We're going to need people who are exploited throughout the world, including the Chinese workers, because most Chinese people within China and in the colonies are exploited as well.
Well, that's what I was just talking about, the factory them, where them build up for the youth them who leave school, them just transport them right to that factory. And the youth them don't know nothing else but that factory.
Right, right. And then they're fed the racism, global racism, about African people. So the Chinese people who are being exploited by their own government, or when they're exploited by the United States government, are still told that they're above the African people. So what we have again and again and again is we have situations where we're not going to have unity. And we have one tiny little planet. When we're destroying the waterways in Ghana and we're building new coal factories, we're polluting the entire planet. And we have a small little planet to share here.
Yes.
So if we don't find a way to unite and realize that all of the people on the planet have one common interest. We have to have environment. We have to have a clean planet to live on, and we need justice for the masses to make life livable. Because if you have Jamaica, if you sell out the water, you sell out the resources, you sell out the very roads, what's going to happen? You're going to have people who are under, we see it right now, under the economic exploitation that exists already. The violence increases.
Yes.
So when China gets, when you have foreign companies owning your water, when they want to increase the prices, what happens to the people?
Yes.
And there's no responsibility. If you can have a country like the United States with the wealth of this country, and we have Flint, Michigan, children have high lead poison in their blood, and this is going on for years, and a rich country like this won't do anything. What happens in Jamaica? What happens when all of the resources are owned, or in the continent of Africa? And unless this is stopped, we have to start thinking long term. And when you've got a government that is in economic crisis, like you said, if it's short-term thinking, it's going to lead to long-term disaster. And China doesn't do short-term thinking. When a Chinese government
was talking about it a while ago, that the Chinese think 50 or 100 years down the line.
They do 500-year planning.
Yeah.
They don't do 5-month planning of like, wow, how are we going to get the budget this year taken care of? Well, we're going to have to sell out this waterway. They're thinking global. They're thinking long term.
Yeah.
And they've got a long history of being able to do it.
Yes. Well, we're going to go
so if we just look at it then as the Chinese individuals, though, if we take it out on Chinese individuals, or if we start, if the hatred starts, it's very easy to get people to hate each other when they're on the bottom.
All right, we have to move now.
All right.
Yeah, man, give thanks. Give thanks for input. Give thanks.
Give thanks.
Yes. Okay, this is the Cutting Edge on IRFM. EL?
Blessings, Mr. Muta.
Blessed, man.
I know like how I call me, I could never get the chance to don't talk. The things are going, I don't know where to start. This is the artist that walk up the chart.
Who this?
Call the intellect, my general. The same young artist.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, me get the CD, me get them tune them on the internet.
Yeah, blessings, man. I just there listen to the team, same way, isn't it?
All right.
One E-Part Juvenile from Chop City Entertainment, Radio Zone. Tune in and I listen to the legend on the radio.
Yeah, all right, sir. Give thanks.
You are give the knowledge you need, my general. So give Holy Part respect and eyes on that, yeah.
All right.
From the youth, the youth, them depend on you. The youth, them look up to you, my G. And they are look to support same way towards the music, how they are seek to educate, motivate, and relate to the mass. Especially the youth, them, because you don't know the youth are the future. Now stop push the youth, them, because the youth itself and see where the youth them are facing and the Gideon, isn't it?
All right, sir. But the youth, them are going terribly, and if that's the future where them are bring to it, why the future look dim.
When I say the youth, them are going with some things, you know, but yesterday, where the system put in front of we, no only for options in the day, no. Mutaka, me is a youth today in the street, and me have all different type of people around me, and at the same time, everybody knows say you can't go right, so go do that and you can't do that, as much as some people are do things. I hide and pressures in life, and them things they push them to do certain things. Because no opportunity is there for you, no Muta. Right now, I have a one in a month. I'm qualified as could I be anybody at all in a society. And no action is there for me.
When say no action is there for you, they will not create the action.
Yeah, that's the thing over there I create, which are the music and see my role and my mission over there for me.
So where did have one in a? Where did have one in a?
I have a one in a month. A profile, A.
And you choose to go to music because what?
Because, alright, first of all, I did a pray for do actual science or medicine, which could work out for me because my mother or father never have it certain way. Low 6 and do my cave subject them and lower 6, pass them. But forgot upper 6. Because motor, firstly, which part I do my subject them? A juvenile institution I do my subject them, you know, daddy. You see me up at Bamboo St. You see me get kicked out of school.
Up at St. Anne there? You up at the juvenile center up at St. Anne?
Yeah, man, up there so I do my subject them.
Okay.
Dr. Kevin Rowe from St. Anne.
Then when you go to my car, when I see you look like you're young man.
Yeah, man, I'm young look, but you know the height of life we are gravitate to from young and them things they keep profession going, you see me?
Well, all we can do is wish you success and hope you just hold up firm and nobody
love.
Make the thing get you down.
So you see, when we hear you talk about earlier, how the Chinese them come buy out the land. Exactly the same thing I try to bring across to the people in a musical fashion, you know. When we say time for we wake up now, Jamaica we are sleep too long. Out of many years ago, we are one, but Chinese them come and buy out to land. Time for we get repatriation, them put with your trial and tribulation. Wake up now, this is important. Wake up now, this is important. Mr. What you are going to do? Open your eyes and see. You go back to school like idiot, get the degree, but still there's no vacancy.
Yeah.
Oh, my thing, man, my daddy.
All right, sir. We give thanks here, brethren.
Yeah, man, blessings, Mama J.
Yeah, Harry. Yes, the youth, them are ball out. But the youth, them really make the thing get more difficult. really difficult.
Yeah, Muta.
Blessed.
Yes, Muta.
Yeah, man, may I listen?
Yeah, man, I respect Mr. Jalan Gares, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Otherwise, I'm Nelson Mandela from Outer Runaway, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, man, look, if you read the Bible, the Muta may take out. Adam is not the first being of this planet Earth, you know?
When you read the Bible, it don't say that?
I'm not see that in the Bible. I'm not know where in the Bible say that, you know?
Wait say.
Well, it said, the first couple, why Adam is not the first? If the first couple is when God said, well, let us make male and female in our own image. You know, that male and female was before Adam.
Okay.
Yeah, so Adam is not really the first, but Adam and Eve is the first black woman and black man in the place, you know?
Adam and Eve is the first what?
Black.
Oh, so the
black
first
man.
one
them was what?
Adam
The first
one, black man, you know?
So the first one them was what? White?
White couple, yes, white couple.
Oh, the first couple was white and the Adam and Eve are black?
Yeah, Adam and Eve is
so, you know the first couple was white?
Well, Muta, you see, the earth then just begins, see? And the first couple of God make, you know, a white couple.
May I ask you, how you know that? Oh, you know that from the Bible?
What I'm doing, I'm explaining the inspiration. Who I get my inspiration? Not everybody can read it and get a different inspiration.
You know, we're not damn foolishness in the night, you know. You may ask you.
Yeah.
You just quote the Bible and say, God said, let us make man in our own image. He never say make man or woman. He say God created man in his own image. So when I ask you now, which part of the Bible right there, so in Genesis 1 where you talk about, tell you say, the first couple was white.
Yeah. What I'm saying in the Muta, when I want to read, I want to get the inspiration differently. But what I'm doing, I'm trying to.
Oh, you deal with imagination in your own heart. You must not lead up on your own understanding, brethren.
I'm trying to explain to you.
Yeah, but what you going to explain to me? What you explain to me? Which part of the Bible tell you, say, you tell me about something in your mind? You come now, you read something in the Bible and then juxtapose it with something in your mind, and that you do.
No man, listen to what I'm saying.
All right.
It's an inspiration. When everybody reading, everybody.
What is inspiration? Tell me what the meaning of inspiration.
Inspiration, the way how you see the thing.
How you see it, right?
The way how you see it in your own way, the way you
yeah, well, how that fit into where the Bible has said, how you see it.
What I'm trying to do, most I'm trying to explain myself.
You're not trying, you're explaining foolishness. You're explaining foolishness.
I'm going to get to the conclusion.
You're explaining foolishness.
I'm not explaining foolishness.
Rubbish, you explain.
It is not foolishness. It is not foolish motor. You're not giving me time, not space.
All right, go on, talk it.
No, man, you this the thing already, motor. Just make it clear. This is the thing already, man. So you're not giving me no time, and space. So I'm telling my topic, I'm explaining myself, just take it over now.
No, but me I tell you if you talk no, don't complain now.
I'm not talking anything more.
You're not talking. All right, give thanks, brethren.
Explain myself, brethren.
Yeah, give thanks. Yes, okay. Me could see where the song is there. All right, me could play that next song, yeah.
Yes.
Yes?
Oh.
Yeah, blessed man.
Blessed man, yeah man. First time I'm man I call, you know?
All right.
Come on. We're down at the Hanover, man, come from, you know?
Okay.
Yeah man. Yeah, Grange Hill, them shoot a heap of people them last night, you see? Yeah man, you hear me?
Yeah man, I hear you man.
Yo. Right now, me here talk all well, say you want something, you know, but I just foreign you want from me. Right now, me a local youth, you know, a man still, because I'm in my 50s still. And me have whole heap of land down here, and whole heap of land where some people dead left, you know, so, you know, if I could have really deal with something, you know.
Which part you say there?
In a Hanover, man, in a Hanover.
Okay.
In the hill. Yeah, up in the hills. Whole heap of wasteland. People dead left, and the people dead left, whole heap. So, I mean, I have nothing. I don't know what to do.
You have title feet?
Eh?
You have title feet?
Yo, I want to tell you, most of them title, most of them land are not title, you know.
That's the problem, you know. You can't have family land where you don't have title for in Jamaica.
So we have to pay tax,
And then when you start plant up how much you can food, you know, you hear say, this and you say that, and family come in, come tell you this, and family come tell you that.
So man, I mean one man.
No, that's the way I say no, because you don't do nothing with the land. And you want no when nothing not go on with the land, but when something start going on with it, then you're going to see what happens.
No, man, I mean control, man.
No, I not run them joke, the brethren.
Alright, so we hear what you are talking about.
Yeah, I know, but I know what I talk about. I know what I talk about when I say one land. You know, you see family business, different, nice and nice until somebody dead in the family. And then you hear say this and you hear say that, you know. So family stay, you know.
Everybody dead for me, man. I'm here alone, man.
Everybody dead for you? You see?
I'm the last one. I'll be one. You see? Everybody dead. Who you are calling?
So maybe I ask you a question now. Wait there. So when you dead, how far let it go be?
I mean, you them.
You see there? But that
yeah, but you them.
So how you gonna give me your pick them legacy? You try to give me your pick them legacy?
No, man, it's enough, man. Never put them already, man. I will ask them, man.
No, but you don't tell me something, man. I ask you when you dead, how far let you pick them? No, but you know, you pick them might not run it down now, you know. But wait till you're dead, you're gonna see something. How much pick me up?
3 man, 2
you know you say you won. Oh, you say you won. You have 3 pick me up to me say you won.
Differently, man. You don't know me not like brother and sister, mother and father.
No, when we talk family, you know, whether brother and sister pick me up family. You can't say pick them on your family.
Well, holy father like they are still where.
Yeah, but
if you are anyone interested, like enough man I get license for cultivate the weed and them things. Any man interested in one land, you know, me have whole heap, you know. So
no, but you see, the cultivation of the weed works now because you have to go find papers for the land if it shows say your land.
Well, that can't look out, man. You just get a liar, man. You just look out, man.
You know,
Yeah, like that. If you go to the eye first, kind of thing that you are, well, my radio, the left eye radio, that.
We know, but you know, easy, you know, you're a family and we are your own, and when me
I
ask, you know.
Rasta, I talk to her, but it's a humble Rasta, this, you know. With that road taxi that they girl that carry us back, carry us on white people.
I see your heart is willing, you know. Your heart is willing, but the papers down there.
Yeah, the heart willing, but the strength.
The papers are for there.
Why the people don't know Hanover? Hanover is a parish where people help people. You see me?
Yeah.
At the back of this parish in Jamaica, you know, Hanover, you know. You want name Hanover.
Then all them say a St. Thomas.
No, man, a Hanover, man.
Them say a St. Mary and St. Thomas and the two backward place them.
Well, Hanover fall right too. Well, you would have a food.
Who them hand it over to? Huh? The scammer them hand it over to the scammer them.
Yeah. And the scammer them do without bush.
Yes.
Right now, we have whole heap of tambric and whole heap of bamboo de Milan, but them say, boy, I try the bamboo them I buy. And I buy the regular.
Yeah, that them say them go plant China bamboo down here now. They must start plant China bamboo down here.
Yeah. Whole heap of tambric and them say, but nobody now dig the tambric.
You so much bamboo there in Jamaica, our bamboo is not right for certain things now. So they go plant China bamboo down here.
Yeah, I don't know, say, how long that they go take to grow?
It no matter. They go there forever. It no matter. When me and you dead and gone, it still a grow there. I don't know for we them are planted for.
Yeah.
China grand pick them are planted for.
People do something better for the country still. And the country can run better still, you see me?
Yeah.
Yeah, man, the bigger heads, them, man, for kind of to try to help the people who more needy one, them, man. Yeah, man, respect your eyes, yes, sir.
Yeah, man, blessed man, give thanks, yeah? So, let me ask you a question. Yo. Let me ask you something. Where you have plant on the land, you know? The little piece where you can plant.
Where you plant? Vineyard, man. Now, we have my trees, I plant right now. When I plant trees, I plant pear tree, apple tree. Coconut tree.
So you pick them?
Now we have rent right now spray and take them.
And you introduce me to you pick them tree?
A kid, breadfruit. No, people give things, man. My youth they can't manage, but people just give things though. Yeah, I mean that.
I'm glad for you to say that though. I'm glad.
Me give to the needy.
All right, so give thanks.
Yeah, man, respect your program, man. The program, me stop listening to it, man.
All right, so give thanks. Yes, the brethren say, I can't come for land. But right now, I reach a age I know, I'm too old to go through all sort of argument with Picnic and family and this and that. I can't bother with that at all. It happens straight up. Like I said, Muta, I have a piece of land here, so you know. So the title, I go to a lawyer and sign over the title or whatsoever. But if you really go a bush and if you go chop down land, and when we don't chop down the land, you know, and do me at the meal, so the people run come and say, I'm a father land that, you know, him never left the paper for you, you know, my piece of land, and me inherit it, no, something like that. Big man me be.
Yes, Muta.
Blessed man, go ahead, man.
Yes, fine, but otherwise, you know, it's great sadness that I have to announce that Tony Williams, one of the radio pioneers and reggae show promoters in Britain, that he passed away on Monday.
Oh, yeah?
Monday the 30th of April in the morning at his home. Yeah. You know, he had a heart attack.
Wow.
Yes, Tony Williams. You know, my brethren, for many years, the events that he kept, you know, I was his MC in the events that he kept. He kept a lot of reggae shows, like on a Carnival Sunday, for example, where he kept stage shows and so on. You know, I was his MC for many years, various events, shows and so on. I was his MC, and he has been sick for quite a while, but most people would not know that because he never complained and told people, you know, but was sick for quite a while. And as a matter of fact, it was just over a year ago that his brother Spencer Williams, who I also knew from the 70s, died too of, you know, same type of situation, had complications, you know. Spencer had complications, and just over, you know, that's just over a year ago, roughly, that Spencer died. It was at that, representing, and now Tony has died. And the thing about Tony Williams is that, as I see the gruesome murders in Grange Hill, Westmoreland, the parish of Peter Tosh, and Scotty, who used to go to Kingston Technical with us, of Draw Your Breaks Fame and Ronnie Davis and Harry J as producer, Westmoreland people. Tony Williams was also from Westmoreland. Also from Westmoreland, but came here and grew up in South London, Brixton, Balham area, etc. So he's a Westmoreland man, and I know would have pained him to hear what has happened in his parish there in Grange Hill, and condolences to the families of those people who were murdered. I mean, these kind of things really put off people. And there's a sad case of a brother who used to live in Croydon here, 63 years old, that reported that he was found, he was murdered, just returned home about 8 months ago, at a beautiful house and so on, and he was stabbed by a person or persons unknown. And very, very sad, Delroy Walker. Sad situation, but Tony Williams, in keeping reggae awards, and he wasn't the first person to keep reggae awards was my brethren Jas Carter, and he was also the first to keep the One Love concert here, following the 1978 One Love concert that Claude Massop and Bucky Marshall and others did in Jamaica in 78. But what Tony Williams did with Reggae Awards was that he was the first and only promoter to carry Reggae Awards to the prestigious Royal Albert Hall in Kensington. Yes. So the man Tony Williams started out as a DJ in the 70s at Radio London.
I don't know him. I know of him, but I don't know him, I know of him.
Yes, man. Very, 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 very well known in our community. Did a lot of work. He had an internet station for years to call 365 and so on. And condolences to his family. And of course, when his funeral is going to be done, I let people know via this show and my other outlets that I have.
Right.
And today, Thursday, serious local council elections in Britain. Yes, and the tourists, Theresa May and others, really, really fretting because a lot of our people traditionally vote for Labour, but even more so now in the wake of the racism of people who came after Windrush, who have been affected by the policies of Theresa May. I mean, Amber Rudd, her secretary, was forced to resign when it was revealed that when she was denying that she never knew anything about targets and so on, showed that she lied about not knowing about targets, so she was forced to resign on Sunday night, the 29th of April. And what Theresa May has done to try to damage control, she has appointed the son of
a bus driver,
of 2 people from Pakistan. Yes, Savid.
Bus driver.
Yes. Just like the Mayor Sadiq Khan, whose father was a bus driver too. He was a housing minister, and now he's the new Home Secretary. And it is the first that a Muslim has been appointed to such a prestigious
high level
post. Yes, because when he come on to be in Home Secretary, Foreign Secretary, those are the heavy posts, Yes.
But I hear that somebody send me a clip where they show you say a plane load of Jamaicans are come Jamaica soon.
Yes, well, yes, it's that is what is being said, even though it is being denied at the same time.
In spite of them apologizing, in spite of them saying it was that will never happen again, and in spite of them saying that them want to make reparations for those people who lost them job and all that thing because of this so-called Windrush thing, them still sending a load of Jamaicans down here.
Yes, and not just Jamaicans, but other people from the other islands and places in Africa and so on. And we must not lose sight of the fact that this thing is a racist thing. Because notice people from Australia and New Zealand, and they are not being affected. It's a racist thing, you know. And people use the word Windrush. Some of them have been using the word Windrush, but it's in a wrong way, because the Windrush generation are the people who came in June 1948. So what they really mean is the people who came after Windrush. After Windrush, you know. It's people who came after Windrush, because the Windrush, that doctrine at Tilbury, came in June of 1948. So this coming June gonna make 70 years. So the people being affected are the people who came after Windrush, and not those who came on the Windrush. As a matter of fact, very, very few of the people who came on the Windrush are still alive. Very, very few. Maybe only about 20, if that, are still alive. Sam King, who was from Portland, Eastern Jamaica, a brother by the name of Reed, who was from Portland, and others. These people, Larry Philpott, these people have passed away, you know. You know, and thing. But we and this is why I say, and other people have said the same thing, is that Andrew Onis, the Prime Minister of Jamaica, can't, when he said that he's gonna take Teresa words for, you know, take our word for sorting out things. No, it has to be more than words.
But it's not
sort out. Because she cannot be trusted because it's under her regime.
It's not sort out.
Exactly. And she's the one who, as Home Secretary, came in with these racist policies. And Amber Rudd took the bullet for her, so to speak. Now she put in his Savage Javid. But guess why she's doing that now? In appointing him from the race that he's coming from. Is as if to say, see, we're not racist and we'll have something. But people...
Pakistani.
Yes, but people have seen Savage as a person who has a sellout mentality when it comes down to the interests of African and his own people and that type of thing. I mean, in our situation, you know, we have our people, some of them who are Uncle Toms and sellout, you know. So already on social media and otherwise, he's being attacked as, oh, he's just a sellout toy. Because she's the author of the situation.
Where you go a while ago, man? You trip out.
Eh?
You trip out a while ago.
Okay. No, okay, I don't know what happened. But what happened is that people are saying that Amber, that Theresa May, she's the one who must resign.
Yes.
Because she's making others take the bullet for her. Like, Amber Rudd resign.
Well, when it's
really she who should resign also.
I could see what happened with the election.
Yes, because that is taking place today. And I will definitely next week let you know how the results of that is going. But they are really, really running scared, the Tories, because even people who normally wouldn't vote and so on are going to be voting for Labour because Jeremy Corbyn is really, really hammering for justice where this is concerned. And not just Jeremy Corbyn. People must know that it is our people who have been affected from our African community, from the Caribbean and so on, and who are here, who have been kicking up rumpus about this unjust form of deportation which is taking place when the people are entitled to citizenship. It's not a favor. Our people... Yes, okay then. So keep you posted next week.
Contractors, homeowner.
Hello?
Yes.
Yeah, blessings. You know, say about half an hour now,
May I try to get to you. But the waiting is long. Yeah. I don't know if you're aware of a situation that is happening in Jamaica, entertainment industry right now in the hotels, where it is basically racism going on. Now, for years, Jamaican floor shows, they've been doing floor shows for years with pure black Jamaicans, right? For the past 5 going 6 years now, there's been a shift where they're bringing in a lot of Cuban dancers.
Yeah.
And majority of the Cuban dancers who they bring here are half white or white people. These are the people now who are doing the floor shows on the stage. Even some of them even doing the nanny act. Nanny is a black African warrior.
Yeah.
How is it that a light-skinned white woman doing the nanny act? That is a slap in our face as Jamaican. And
all right, so the musicians them all work on the North Coast, them not have a union where can represent them to talk about this discrepancy.
The union is dormant. It has been dormant for many years.
What name? What the new man name?
The new one, well, the old one is JFMAA, now the new one is JFMAU, and it's more of the same thing. It is not moving.
No, what's your name? Smith, is the president?
Yeah, Karen Smith is the new president.
Karen Smith. Where is it dormant?
Basically, it's still dormant because no one is being seen them around. There is no campaigning, nothing happening. It is just at the same place. Now, the problem that is happening in the hotel now is a lot of investigation is being done. And they're saying a lot of these hoteliers are some of the managers at the hotel, which a lot of them are hypocrite or racist themselves. Because I spoke to a lot of them, and the comment that they gave about black Jamaican dancers, it is just degrading.
Like what them say so.
I was talking to one manager at one point, and he said to me, it was a situation where some of the dancers are coming out of town and they're supposed to get rooms. And he was saying that I can't give them rooms because look at them. And I said, what do you mean, look at them? And these were black people. But because some of these people are not well kept because they're not making enough money.
No, hold on. Make us find out where you say so now. When them say look at them, is it because of where them have on?
Where them have on and how they look. They're black people.
It's because them black.
Yeah.
No, but when them say look at them, it don't mean them color, it can mean the clothes them have on.
The clothes them have on and how they look.
No, but you add the clothes out to me.
Is a problem. All right, look at this now. They said they're bringing in, because there's a company here that has been, they're dominating, right? The hotel industry, taking over entertainment. Now, they get the contract to run the entertainment. Then they have a dance group. And wherever they get the contract, no Jamaican dance group that was before floor shows work there. They use only their people. So there is conflict of interest right there. And most of who they're using, sometimes you go to the hotel and you look on the stage and they're doing a Jamaican show, all white Cubans. And
so who is there to represent the Jamaican act them?
That's what I'm saying. The Cubans.
No.
You have, all right, this company have Jamaicans in their dance group,
No, we're not talking with the company with the Cuban them. It say, who is there to represent the one them we are talking about will get displaced? That me talk about.
No one.
No one are there.
No one is there to represent.
So anytime you start about it now, what you think going to happen? What you think can happen?
I am trying to raise awareness
to the people
can know and exactly what is happening.
Yeah.
To the relevant people who
I have heard of this. I have heard of it before that the Russian them come in, the Mexican them come in, and the Cuban them come in. I have heard of it.
They're majority Cubans and Dominicans. Okay. And the problem that I see and having is the majority of them, they're white people. So how can you have such a country like Jamaica that is so rich in culture and have so many talented people here can't get jobs that you have to import people, white people from Cuba, to come here to do Jamaican acts.
Yeah.
And they're making it look as if that Jamaicans were not doing a good job, or the tourists that is coming here now, they're so sophisticated, because I heard that once. Oh, they're more exposed. They want to see the salsa dancing. Which salsa dancing? The hotel and say, tourists asking, where's the reggae music? We want reggae music.
Yeah, but if you want salsa, you go to Cuba, man. Where
exactly.
So let me ask you a question. You work in the hotel industry?
I do it for years, Muta, years.
All right. What you do in the industry?
I am a singer.
And you get displaced too?
Well, they can't displace me because the show that I do, it's needed.
All right, so let me ask you a question now. Given that you recognize this Aguan now, why you don't galvanize some of the workers them and figure out something? Every time I bring up something,
I've tried it before, and look here, I've tried it before, and it never worked out.
Why?
So,
the worker them no unite?
They're into it, but they're afraid of losing their job. Because when a man can't get a little money...
think you say them lose them... Wait, let me think you say them lose them job.
No, look here, you see the dance groups, them lose their job. 95% of the dance groups that were in the hotel working lose their job. They don't have
them me talk about, not the one that was still in them job.
Okay, no, you have a couple of musicians still working. But the problem is with most of the dance groups, they're not working. Some of them are forgotten on ship or gone, a foreigner gone. You have to leave your country to go somewhere else to work. Where Jamaica is such a rich culture in culture, where so many hotels are where Jamaican can't get job. They can't get job anymore. They have to leave their country because foreigners are coming here.
Terrible.
That don't make no sense.
Terrible.
That don't make no sense. And if Jamaicans don't rise up now, the dancers and the musicians, it's gonna get worse because these people are basically like culture killers. Right. Because you're not seeing much of Jamaican culture anymore. The root culture.
Yeah.
You're not seeing that it has been now.
They are colorblind it. They are colorblind.
Las Vegas is like a Broadway show now.
Yeah.
So the whole part ballet dancing in it, and the different kind of costume that has nothing to do with Jamaica.
Like Broadway.
Exactly. So we need to have the red, green, and gold, and the all
black,
of this. We look at it. Huh?
Yeah. Like the black, gold, and green, and the red, gold, and green, and everything there.
Yeah, that richness of Jamaica is fading.
Yeah, them have red, white, and blue now.
All different kind of colors, and they're saying, oh, it's a mixing of Caribbean.
Out of many.
Exactly. So now Jamaica is not more like that distinct country where stick out to everybody know. It is now getting and this is in the hotel circuit. Let me just be clear. This is the entertainment in the hotel industry. It is being washed out basically to nothing. You know, so you know, I get a rich Jamaican, even when the guests are asking for it, they're not getting it.
Yeah, well.
Because immediately I see guests are asking, where the reggae music there? We want the reggae music. You go and you see some artists do the reggae show and it's like, it's judgment day for the guests them, because of that them come here for.
You ever meet the minister yet? Where I boast about tourism? What's name again?
Edmund Bartlett?
Yeah, you ever meet him yet?
But there are so much things I'm not even want to get into, because I know people are listening right now. I know my voice. I'm picking up.
Oh, well, so that's the problem now. That's the problem now. Everybody afraid. So everything stays
I am not afraid, you know. I am not afraid, you know, but there are so many things. If me talk to you now, I'm not going to go until the morning.
I mean, why what a morning no? I mean, why you don't in the evening neither? Because other people are wait for me now and I cause me. I say, oh, me I make one man I take up the time so long. But you know me I say no.
Yeah.
Maybe that's kind of easy for Mr. Bart to tell that you see him somewhere in one of them hotel there, you know. He may listen to you, you know.
Yeah, listening is one, but what about the action behind it?
No, me don't know about. Well, if you don't talk to him now going to have no action. So
he's aware of the problem. He's aware of everything that is happening.
Him aware of the problem?
He's aware of it, because at one point he said the reason why we're bringing in a lot of foreigners to do the work because we don't have enough talent in Jamaica to supply the entire.
You know, me hear him say that for true. Me hear him say that, you know.
That is basically treason.
Me hear him say that for true. A treason for true.
Yeah,
the right word to use, a treason. You know, so me hear him say it for true. Say them not have enough for supply the market. Me hear him say
People,
it.
there are more than enough Jamaicans can do the job, but
Of
they're
course.
not getting the opportunity. That's the problem.
Yeah.
It is sad, and you have a new union come up now named EJA and JFM. So the two of them is basically trying to do the same job.
Me have to go talk to
recruit
Karen
the
Smith
same
about
people.
that. Me have to go talk to Karen. I'm a friend. Me have to talk to her.
Karen Smith is a lovely lady. She's trying and
Yeah.
she's been trying to get this thing done, but it's not easy. Easy to get it done. A whole heap of things need to fix.
Never get
But my thing is, if you want dancers, School of Music have tons, School of Dance have tons of dancers.
No,
Why do you need to bring white people from Cuba
Barbican
come
there
here to
too.
dance?
You have dance school at Long Barbican there. Every Saturday we see them long there rehearse and all them something there.
Look here, man. You see the money that is in this business is so much that people don't even care about the culture anymore. They just want to grab the money. They're in the business
I like
of
the music
making
too.
money.
That's the
Not
music.
really for the culture.
I see with the music, the media could say we are going on the reggae music, dancehall music. Nobody no business about the quality. Them are business about money, quantity. Anyway, we have to move to our brethren.
Yeah, man. Blessing.
Give thanks, yeah? Yes, I true the brethren attack. Serious thing the brethren attack about. Them are kind of displaced way. Sneakingly, connivingly. You think it's a joke. I tell you. Everywhere we turn Makajuk way. Everywhere we turn Makajuk way. Music again. Yes, EL.
EL Muta.
Yeah, blessed.
Muta.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, the call a while ago, it really opened up my wisdom to certain things, you know what I mean? To see what I go on, but I've never tell people, Muta, I learned so much things from listening to you, you know? And you shape my thoughts in a whole heap of ways, you know what I mean? And you lead me to investigate things.
Of course.
And that is a good thing when me have to always give thanks to. Right now, I'm in the middle of reading this book here, Medical Apartheid. I don't know if you read
Medical
it.
Apartheid. No, I never read it.
Yeah, Harriet Washington is a brutal read, you know.
Tell me what that about. The doctor of death?
Say that again?
Is that about the doctor of death?
I don't know if that in there, but that talk about the Tuskegee thing and the woman Margaret thing and, you know.
So you know mention the doctor of death in South Africa there?
No, I don't know if it's that in there yet. Because like I said, I'm in the process of reading it, you know. And you see, and then I tell you, say, I hear about this crime here where I go on in the country. And I say, it's a simple thing in a Muta. Muta, we have to try everybody, everywhere else you know, them are dealing with nationalism. You have to promote a certain amount of nationalism in your country to make the people them love them country. You have to do that. And you have to start with the children. You have to do that. You know, and everything we just take from them people and we make them people tell who feel like and who not to like. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You see me, Muta, you see me stand, you see all this Bill Cosby thing here, or me stand with it. This is my personal opinion. I feel say Bill Cosby for just apologize and everything for just done to him is an icon. I just saw me feel. You know what I mean?
But them don't find him guilty already, you know. Them don't find him guilty already.
Yeah, I know, but I just tell you how I feel. It should have apologize. Him should have just apologized and it done with it. That's how it goes. And I hear the Prime Minister say, our Prime Minister, me watch for the TV interview in England, I say, the Prime Minister of England apologized for this Windrush thing and it's good that them apologize. So all we do as a people, accept apology. Bill Clinton come 1997 apologize for the Tuskegee thing. Everything them do to we as a people, them apologize and we accept and move on. And
we are doing the same thing down here, so now, you know, so everything the minister them do, them apologize and move on and forget about it.
Yeah.
The other day, one woman ball out, what's your name, Dennis daily ball out about she don't like the color green and everybody walk with green coming out constitution, tell them to leave. And 1 week after she apologized, and that is the end of the story.
Yeah, and I can't understand that. So why when anyone and we do something, we have the luxury if we apologize.
No wonder we are going. No wonder we are
you
going.
know, and it's something, but you know what I mean. We need, and the people need to start read more. The people need to start read both the educated and the uneducated. You see, some of them people who say them are Christian, from them start in them Christian thing, them think the Bible and the Uncle book.
Them not read again. Them top read.
Them not read nothing else. Yeah. All them read is the Bible, and that is a big problem we have.
Big problem.
That's a big problem we have. Because you can't just set yourself on one track and think, say, that's how you set up. You know? But both of me, I tell you, say, you do a marvelous job, and, you know, me, I tell you, you shape my mind in a certain way. I'm not free to think about anything.
Yes.
Anything at all, I think about
critically thinking, man. That's what the program is all about.
Yeah, man, because, you know, I'm not lock up myself on no one track or nothing.
Yeah.
You know? You can't do that. You know?
Right, so give
like
thanks.
motor, I'm going to be more big up my brethren them out in the East Kingston there.
We know that. You say that, you know.
You know that, because I'm a big up my brethren Fireball and Arville and Beat to them and Star, all of the East Kingston people. Man, just go and keep the peace.
You sure to them still there, right? Them still there. All of them man the way call still there.
Yeah, man, them dead man, because I keep in touch, you know. I know one of them man here where I go there. That's why Mr. Man, I come to Jamaica and walk up and down anywhere I go. And because we have to keep in touch.
All right, sir. Give thanks.
We have to keep in touch and give thanks, Muta. Keep up the program.
Yeah,
yes, sir.
I did. I want to remember, say, a cutting edge introduce Afrobeat. And, you know, yes, I want to remember that. Beat style, yes, Ill. Ill.
Yeah, man, how are you?
Yeah, man, there, man.
Hey, tell me, man, I tell you something.
This is now, you know, listen to the radio, you listen to the phone, you listen to the radio. Yeah, listen to the phone, Bridget. Listen to the phone, you talk on the radio, you have to listen to the phone.
I am sorry.
The man make me cut my tune for make him listen to radio, Rasta.
One man.
Yeah, cutting edge, man.
Yes, man, that me hear, man. Boy, two quick thing about the English people, man.
Yeah.
But them run from England. You know, say me not sorry for them, though.
You're not sorry for who?
The English people, man, them run from England.
You mean you're not sorry for the Jamaican,
no,
them?
The Jamaican, them run from England. Because you know really a motor?
Yeah.
You know, say a couple years back, the whole of them run to England, you know. And what you think them do? Them build up England, and look how England are established, and want to go and good, and what you think now? They refuse them and run them home. Them come and realize they not go and them, they go and fight the tax dollar. When you talk to some of them and tell how much here in England, and me want them have an argument there, they say, where did you build? You know, you can't go to 43. I say, go back to England and go fight your tax dollar, man, because you know no tax dollar in Jamaica. You know, see it.
They want to the Western Union money where them send come here.
I look, Mutabaruka, you're not surprised, but you talk about America and you talk about Western Union. To be honest with you. English people don't say nothing come. They tell the puppies a lot of 43 every time they ask, how is the land? That's all them do. They come back and you stand by your house, that's all them do. They don't contribute nothing. They don't help people in the country, to be honest with you.
Them building
and another thing, them building England, them build, I know it's what happen. Them not have no to live, them come back to Jamaica. Some of them shame because they can't put their family because how they treat them.
Oh.
Believe it.
How much year old you is? How much year old you is?
Hey, me I'm 52 years old.
52?
52, yeah.
So you never go to England yet?
Yeah, me go there one time, it's been about 6 months up there.
And you get deported?
No, man, I travel and come back, man. I'm not deported. I just go there, go visit my uncle and come back.
We just ask you.
No, man, not like that, you know.
So you never have no family up there where you live up there?
Yeah, I have uncle and auntie and a cousin up there.
Eh?
Yeah, but them, honestly, some of them straight, some of them not straight. You know, I tell you no lie. Some of them go and come, but some of them can't come because them afraid if them come, them can't go back.
Them can't go back. And that's in America too. A whole heap of Jamaican there in America want to come down, but them afraid them can't go back.
Yeah, well, me not have no family in America. I have a couple of friends up there. You know? But when it comes to remittance, you talk about America over England. England nothing not more than save up them pound, brother.
And no value of your left in a bank account to come down. Believe it, that them are worried about.
So we are watching them bank account for man. Left the
no,
people them on them bank account.
That's a serious thing. That them are worried about. Because it has got turn over to the English government and then I don't forget. That's the problem, you know.
This one.
I know they come and they fight the tax and everything. Oh, look at the road. Look at this. And they don't build Jamaica.
And they don't build
Jamaica. They don't call the cost of tax dollar. I want good service. Look at it, move I think I joke, man.
I hear you, man.
A serious thing, man.
I hear you.
And then I think, man, talk about, remember this, in a couple months ago, man, talk about this plastic rice. Anybody talk about it again?
No.
You know how much that we can consume from then till now, and nobody, it's a 3-day wonder, 9-day wonder, nobody not talk about that again.
But still I eat it,
Oh, you mean, you could have no fight, I don't remember. Because everybody that talk about it, everybody get caught up in that like a roll, I know it's blue and gone, the stamp pass.
Yeah.
Everything second again, you know how much people that consume and don't even know.
That's how we stay.
Because nobody no follow through, that's how we stay.
Yeah. All right, give thanks to you.
Yeah, man, protection.
You're rough, no, you're rough, man.
I saw the truth, Muta, and rough is the truth. Just look what me I tell you. Them don't build Jamaica when they come fight with tax dollar.
Yeah, all right.
That's true.
Yeah.
All right, boss, take care.
Yeah, man, Rojo.
Blessed man.
But I tell you something. I'm one of the old timers from way back when. I didn't go on the Windrush, but I was there a couple of years afterwards, right? Yeah, to build up the place and thing.
Yeah.
And when they're talking, guys were talking about Croydon and Tony Williams and all the things there. But when we go back earlier than that to Circle and the Sunset Club and all them places, you know? But we don't want to know that all of us do a little thing over there. I tell you something, I'm going to go back to, I don't want to give you a history thing, you see? But I remember when my father was a sergeant in don't forget, you know, we were here, and every time you hear about, German submarine out on the west coast and the night, well, my father used to be in uniform and go out and protecting the place.
Yeah.
So, you know, I left here as a youngster, just leave Cornell College and go to England to help and build up the mother country.
Yeah.
So I can talk. And the greatest thing I ever done, I went over there and I found another young lady from Jamaica here who was going over there as a nursing student to build up the mother country.
Yeah.
And we've been building up the mother country for 64, nearly 65 years now. We come back to Jamaica now, we're building up Jamaica. All right, my son?
Okay. How much you is now?
Hey, I'm 86 years old, man.
What kind of building up you can do here now? Tell me.
Hey, right, tell me, test me.
Eh?
Test me.
Check your...
Test me. No, we building. No, you see, the building up we can do is the younger ones, them.
Yeah.
That is what my wife do. We feed the hungry. At least once a week we go out and feed those who don't have anything, and we encourage. All right, my wife used to be. She was. We've been. How should I put it now? We come from abroad, and here supposed to be retired.
Yes.
And we've been working hard. If you ever see our notebook every day, this to be done, here's and Kai, this and that.
Yeah.
You know, I tell you, we've been doing, we work harder now that we're back here.
You get your pension, though. You get your pension from England, right?
Eh?
You get pension from England and thing.
Very small. Very small. We don't worry about that, man. The thing that concerns us now is each of each other. When we wake up in the morning and we do so, and the other one's still alive, we say, thank God. Let's just go out and do something for Jamaica.
Why, you're sweet, brethren, may I tell you.
Man, no, what else can we do? We are all we have in this world, you know.
The two of you wake up and see one another.
Yes. That man is another day to go out and do something for the community and for each other. All right.
I tell you, they make chills run through my body when you said that a while ago, man.
No, I tell you, my son.
Chills run through my body when you said that a while ago.
Well, all right. I tell you what to do. I'm calling you from auto race.
Yes.
Go out as auto race, anywhere out of the clock or anywhere, and say, you see nurse passer? You probably know nurse too. You probably went.
No,
you go.
Yeah.
Just ask nurse. Just ask the nurse.
Yeah. Everybody know her.
And that's my wife.
Everybody know her.
Know her.
All right, sir.
We go for the cruise, and the first person we see as we go for the boat. Well, I see them guys nurse. Remember them they used to took me up.
You must come here and let me meet the two of them, man.
All right, come on, welcome.
Come on and let me meet the two of them, man. You are a nice old man, this man.
Oh, man. Hey.
Come on and let me meet the two of them.
Funny enough is that's a call for you know.
Not tonight, do you know? No, come tonight,
no. That's a call. When I call you first, you're playing a tune, and I can't. At my age, though, sometimes the name slip me. I call you before, you know, and I ask you to play a tune, and you couldn't find the man from South Africa. When you play a tune by him tonight.
You Matikela.
Me want to play a tune. You know, up there you find it yet. Terra Nova. Me call you before, you know. Yeah. You know find Terra Nova up to now.
Remember.
Terra Nova, you know what? How Terra Nova come about?
Yeah.
Him come and meet him stay at the Terra Nova Hotel in Kingston, and him write a tune of a Terra Nova. You never know that?
No, I never know.
All right.
From the idea.
Look it up, because I'm into the music world. So
all right, sir.
In my own normal way.
Well, I tell you, I have some old people that listen to the program them over the night, man. Respect, man. Trust me.
I'm sorry. My name is going to see you.
I have to go have a meet with all of the people them who pass here to listen to the program, you know.
And like, you know, talk up you. They must talk up and do them things, but don't forget the elders.
All right, sir. Give thanks.
All the best. All the best.
Sweet,
Keep on keeping on.
Yeah, man. Best caller for a couple of years. Well, I tell you. That's why I can't do without make any more make any call, come here, because a man could have come here now, come spoil a one when me just get a while ago.
Yeah, Muta.
Yes, man, Lingo.
Yeah, no, me have to phone again, man. When to denounce that bad mind like talking about people from England, about him not sorry for them and that type of thing. You know? Blatant lies. Nobody in England, Jamaicans in England don't want him or people like him to be sorry for them. It's Jamaicans in England from the 1940s, 50s coming through who send so much money to people in Jamaica and invest in Jamaica more than Jamaicans who go to the States and Canada. And to be hearing these bad-minded lies that this guy and those who think like him talking about Jamaicans. He said that he came here for 6 months one time. Yes, come here 6 months living off Jamaicans who live in England, right? And that is the gratitude, you know?
All right, sir.
And this is no joking. Bad mind attitude. Earlier you heard me talk about 63-year-old Jamaican Delroy Walker who come back to Jamaica, build up a house, investing and things, only to be murdered. This kind of bad-minded mentality is what this guy exhibited a while ago. Nobody of all the groups of Jamaicans outside of Jamaica who contribute the most financially and invest in Jamaica have been Jamaicans in England, in Britain. That's a fact. See, and constantly. They don't give people, Jamaicans in England, any money to put on and thing. You yourself were here the other day, you come here all the while, you do shows and thing. Just like how other Jamaicans, artists from Jamaica come and do shows and that thing and get support from Jamaicans here and that type of thing. And when you hear this kind of bad-minded coot, and you know it's not, I want to say more than coot, but it's a radio show. Telling lies and coming with a bad mind thing about Jamaicans in England, nothing. But they have been the biggest contributors, sending money through Western Union, MoneyGram and all farms over the years.
Yeah. All right, so
this is no joking, and this is one of the serious divide and rule thing that happen to keep back the progress of JA people when you have bad-minded coats like that with them lies.
All right, we hear your man think we have to move down now, though.
Yes, straight up.
Yes.
And I will work that little coat listening.
All right, so him a listen. We did say African beat on radio, and we did say Afrobeat. You know, the reason why we mentioned it a while ago is because we hear this Japan and them people that would never even look towards Africa for nothing. But we give thanks to it, never too late for a shower rain. But we know it go because you have a group of people who never used to listen to radio when we start. So when you hear certain man come say it now, it got written down in a history book that way there. So we want stamp with validation on it. Yes. Say, remember a who. We want to give thanks to the moment. We know that is petite outside there. We want yellow petite, you know. Petite. Go get a phone. It's a... Yes, why you look me hungry. Vita. Yeah, man. Give thanks. And Vita, remember me things, you know. Yes, remember me things. Don't forget it, you know. Okay, all right.